You're talking about all men. Woo! You're talking about all men.
Oh yeah, it's time for Mike in the Night. Oh yeah. I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you be watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky to your cabin in the woods, or just couch surfing, or maybe on a road trip, or just relaxing in your lazy boy. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It's 3 a.m. and something is moving you. So crack open a window, sit back, relax, get some tea or coffee, because you're tuned into Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. Don't say I'm talking too much, and tell what we see what's behind. Just when you think it's done and just when you can't go on. Tag along, Mike in the Night. Let's talk this through. Hashtag Mike in the Night. Intro track by Ralphie.co.New Zealand. And today, I'm hoping we could get some first-time callers in. Looking for first-time callers tonight. And we're going to get some regulars on if they're available. We got a lot of things to cover, a lot of things to discuss. Because what do you like, it's like someone said to me the other day, Mike, you just talk too much. No, don't say I'm talking too much until what we see what's behind. Because these are definitely mysterious times we are definitely living in right now. Tom Vickers saying, woo, Mike finally caught live. So, everybody in the comments are starting to join together. We got Braveheart in the comments, Tignim in the comments, Big Rob New Zealand. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys, so what is going on? Disclaimer, we do not offer medical investment advice or medical advice. Again, I think I have to say it twice. We are opinion-driven, and we don't know anything we can't even read. Due to this video's poor quality, this video should not be viewed by anyone ever. So let's go into it, guys. So how's everyone doing out there? I hope everybody is doing really good because we got an action-packed show for you guys. It is 10 p.m. in New York, and I got people tuning in from New York tonight who are going to be tuning into Mike in the Night for the first time, who are excited for the show. So let's do a quick channel plug, and then we're going to jump into tonight's top stories. I got 10 pounds? From Tom Vickers, coffee to me, Mike. So the buddies in England or the UK just sent me 10 British pounds. Wow, that's like $14 Canadian or 15 Canadian dollars. Thank you, Tom. Coffee time for Tom. It's early morning in, what time is it in the UK? Let's see here, Lisbon. It is almost 3 in the morning there. So, okay, guys, let's go into a quick channel plug, and then we're gonna rock and roll into some of the biggest things that are happening. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I last month I got 9 subscribers. I'm going to be at 14. I'm hoping to get to 14,000 subscribers by Christmas. I'm at 13,925, and I'm hoping to get to 14,000 subscribers by Christmas time. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, guys, don't forget to send me your Instagram messages here. For some reason, Instagram does not block your messages. For some reason, I get them. And then on Facebook, they're blocked. I don't understand why. Guys, here is Teespring. I Love Amerifornia shirts are selling really well. All kinds of cool stuff. They do ship to the UK, to Europe and all over. Okay, so here it is. This is next Wednesday's show. I'm just going to give you guys a heads up for this Wednesday show. It is more market BS, Commonwealth for common people. And next week's Mike in the Night, confidence in local government. More confidence in local governments are falling. So that's going to be a good one next week. And artbydano.com. Not your typical art. Check out your boy, my Art by Dano. And guys, don't forget to subscribe and follow Lord Humongous here and contribute. I've already contributed and I'll be contributing again this week to Lord Humongous, Mike in the Night Amerifornia Tour 2021. And Ralphie.co.New Zealand, live radio, replays of Mike in the Night in New Zealand if you guys want to catch it. All right, it is 3 a.m. and something is moving you. So what's going on with you folks? What's going on, people? How's everyone doing out there? Comments are rocking and rolling. Wow, we almost got 80. We have 88 people watching tonight already. That intro is a nice little warm-up a few minutes before we kick off, just so we can get some people on the stream. Zuckerberg doesn't like Amerifornia comments. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's just what happened to free speech, or what happened to freedom of expression and freedom of assembly. And we're going to get into that tonight, because we're going to be talking about the second biggest protest in the last year or so. The first is in India. We know that. India had one of the biggest man protest, I think, in the last 150 years of properly written history. It makes you wonder, guys. Think about this. Look at all the BS we're dealing with the mainstream and what they want us to believe, what they want to tell us. Imagine how much of history is all pure BS. All pure BS. Imagine how much history, how much we thought we knew of what we thought we were told is all BS. Imagine. I got into a heated discussion with someone the other day because I told them that Poland actually invaded Germany in early 1939. They're like, "You're crazy." I'm like, no. Poland invaded Germany 2 times. They did. They got nowhere, but they did. And I spoke to a Polish historian, and he told me, "Yeah, you're right, Mike, 100%. Poland invaded Germany twice in 1939. Okay, so why did we... Well, because England betrayed the Polish, because England was going to help Poland out with armaments and stuff. But how much is real? How much is actually factual? And the main question is, does it matter? It kind of matters. You know why it matters, folks? Because we like to build or construct decisions on historical movements or historical decisions that were made in the past, or even governance of our countries. It's kind of weird how we kind of see through the whole mainstream media narrative now. Like we always have, but I mean, we really see through it, and it's the biggest pile of BS crap. And then now you take a few steps back and look at the last 500 years. What is what? What is factual? Have they been hurting us? Have they been hurting the sheep for the last 500 years? And now we are coming to this unveiling of the great and all-powerful mighty Oz. So we got So AWL says, Mike, you're talking about German false flags, FFS. It's what we do, not what they say. Exactly. Someone saying, Bat Soup is saying, have I heard what Alyssa Milano did? Isn't that the girl from Who's the Boss, I think? I think she's from the Who's the Boss? Woo! All right. Let's go into tonight's top stories and find out what are they trying to feed us? What are they trying to... So let me talk about one of the biggest protests and how it was not covered. So here it is, guys. Take a gander at this. This is an article from today, okay? And Kill the Bill and pro-Palestinian protests take place in Nottingham City Centre. Okay. Now, I wanted to address this because this Kill the Bill protest is by far one of the biggest protests that England has seen. That England has seen since the last 30, maybe 20, 30 years. They haven't had, maybe 40 years, since they've had a protest as big as Kill the Bill. And here's the problem. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So it was on May 1st, was one of the biggest, and it expanded into a couple of days, and then it started to morph. Now, this is what the BBC was covering on May 1st, 2021. Crickets. Crickets. Not a single word on the protest. Now, this is one of the biggest movements in England that they've seen, again, in the last 20, 30 years. 2 protests took place across Nottingham City Centre today in Old Market Square. Protesters met up in the Robin Hood statue next to Nottingham Castle for an 11 a.m. before march to the square in support of Kill the Bill movement at noon. So they're saying 50 people were expected to attend. They always say it's 50 people, and they always say it's a pro-Trump rally. Or 10 people showed up for that. Or 50 people or 90 people. And then you look at the footage, it's like a 250,000 people. It's either a pro-Trump protest when they have nothing left. Well, what are they protesting? What are the people talking? Well, it might be a pro-Trump protest, so let's leave it at that. All right, let's keep going on. So here it is. There it is right there. That's what they covered on May 1st. 8 people charged with rioting over first Kill the Bill protest. Now they're saying 500 people marched in Bridwell police station during the demonstration against the police crime sentencing courts. So this is May 13th. So if you start piecing it together, you got 500 people here, you got 50 there. What are the numbers? What are they trying to tell us here? Are we supposed to kind of decipher the mainstream media? 8 people have been charged with rioting following the first Kill the Bill protest in Bristol. They will appear before Bristol Magistrates Court on 28th of May in connection with the riot that saw 500 people march in Bridwell Police Station on the 21st of March. A 9th person has been charged with outraging public decency. Avon Somerset Police said, wow. So here are the names and the people that are actually being charged here. Wow. I wish they would do this for everybody. If you're getting charged for something, put their names up. Let the people know who these people are. But they only do it for a certain sect of people, right? If this was, you know what I'm saying? Like, they never do this. In Canada, they never. If it's a Caucasian, it's all over the news. But when they figure out it's not, and then they start stepping back and kind of retracing their steps and kind of backpedaling, they should do this. Look at this. Everybody's name, first and last name is here, the city they live in, and their age. And there's the police station there. And look, there's the 500 people. Too bad we can't pan that camera out so we could see how many people are legitimately there. There it is right there. So there's a lot of things. So there's the Kill the Bill. So unfortunately, there's nobody cover. Well, there's YouTubers covering it, But the protests, unfortunately, are just not being covered by British media, so that the people people watching outside of England won't talk about this, right? So there it is there. I'm just trying to see if there's good clips here. They're just clipping off police here. Let me see if I have oh yeah, big parties. Look at the dancing. Yeah, I think there's more than 500 people here. You know what I'm saying? There's a 5-hour... The only places that are reporting on this are independent media sources and Rupley from RT are actually reporting on. There it is. Oh, this one's got smoke. Wow, look at this, 500 people. Look at this, 500 people. Here, guys, you want to see what the media deems as 500 people? Oh, there's 500 people right there. So you keep this camera on, and you keep it going for half an hour. Look at this. Look at this, 500 people. The sign passes. These people are passing. These people are passing. These people are passing. Here's your 500 people. Look at that. 500 people. Or was it the other one? 50 people. Was it 50 people? So this is yeah, the people doth not protest too much. So there's a lot of there's no mainstream media covering. Oh, the Guardian's covering this. Policing bill. Kill the bill protest, May 1st, London Square. So there's a lot of people that are, again, non-mainstream media, small media outlets that are covering this, and obviously Russia Today is covering this, right? So, and people from England have asked me to speak more on this because it's actually a really big deal, and people are out and about making noise about it, but, again, 50 people. So this was sent to me by Linny Poo here. A Policy Horizons Canada. This is from the government of Canada. This is a message that was sent out, and I got this in my email too. Policy Horizons Canada exploring biodigital convergence. What happens when biology and digital technology merge? So they're spending, I guess, our tax money to understand ourselves and cause us to redefine and consider human or natural. Biodigital convergence may profoundly impact our economy, our ecosystem, and our society. Being prepared to support it while managing its risks with care and sensitivity. This is a bunch of garbage. They're trying to pull stuff so people cannot believe it. You know, they're actually doing some sort of therapy so people will stop believing in a God, or, give it 5 more years. And if you believe in a God, or you believe in a higher state of consciousness, like some sort of higher state, they're actually going to make it. There's already some places that deem it as mental illness. I believe in God. I believe in God the Father, creator of heaven and earth. I believe there's a creator. And I believe in a lot of things, But when they want to take something away from us, and they've been doing this for a while, where they're working on. Do you know why they want to take this out of us for the people that do care about it? It's because a lot of us are programmed at birth into believing, we're programmed that there is some sort of higher being, of some sort of higher level of intelligence. That's just my opinion, So we got the, so Anarchy is saying, wait for it. They are developing 6G. Next protest to come. We got Eduardo was messaging me in the thing here. Okay, so let's move on here. Top stories. So this is major. This was sent by the government of Canada with basically wanting to. I don't know what they're planning. I understand the idea, and I believe in my heart of hearts it's about dissolving religion, or the Catholic religion. Every other religion is peaceful. Just the Catholic religion they want to dissolve. New poll: 73% of Canadians stand up for free speech, reject Bill C-10. So people are asking me about Bill C-10, where they're going to actually pass a bill to disallow Canadians like myself to come on and actually discuss and have our show like this, where we could openly discuss current events. And this poll saying 73% of Canadians stand up for the free speech to reject Bill C-10. And then 2 weeks ago, we put up an article where 97% of Canadians favor Bill C-10 because it protects Canadians and it protects their privacy. So you're getting both sides. Obviously, we reject Bill C-10 here because it's garbage and we can't talk. And then people living in England and people living in Australia will have no idea what's happening in Canada because people like us can no longer get out the word. Yes, transhumanism, says Lenny Poo. Transhumanism is the most dangerous thing. I made a video, I think it was 4 years ago, where I asked people what they thought was the most dangerous thing that could happen to us. And I said transhumanism is the major, and other people commented on the Fed and manipulation of gold. I think transhumanism is a big deal. I know we're still behind on our times with it, but I'm thinking in the next 20, 30 years, things are going to start to develop and roll out, and they're going to force it just like the jab and everything else, right? Genetically engineered magnetoprotein remotely controls brain and its behavior. Wow. Imagine they put 10% of this energy and time and money into feeding the starving people in the world. Imagine they put this time and energy instead of trying to change us and genetically manipulate us into vegetables. Imagine they actually spent this money and this time in something that actually makes sense to better humanity.
You're not a nice person.
Okay. So they're going to, okay, ooh, look at this. New method uses a magnetized protein to activate brain cells rapidly, reversibly, and non-irreversibly. Invasively. Reversibly and non-invasively. So they're going to, why? Researchers in the United States have developed a new method for controlling the brain circuits associated with complex animal behaviors. Using genetic engineering to create a magnetized protein that activates specific groups of nerve cells from a distance. Sorry, guys, my neighbor's cutting his lawn. My neighbor cuts his lawn every 2 days, so he's always cutting his lawn. Anyways, so magnetized protein that activates specific groups for cells from a distance. Understanding how the brain generates behavior is one of the ultimate goals of neuroscience. What do they care? I want to thank Anthony Ruvalacaba for sending me $5. Thank you, Anthony. So Devin is saying we need gas in North Carolina. You get the bionic woman and man, says Adrian. The Great Deception is commenting. It says Klaus Schwab claims that the fourth industrial revolution has to do with transhumanism. And then Moonlight saying the 6 peso man. He's referring to the $6 million man. Oh, Anthony is driving home and listening to us on Bluetooth. On his Bluetooth on his car. Understanding how the brain generates behavior is one of the ultimate goals of neurosciences. How about solving world hunger, or maybe creating a media platform for people to actually get the information they need so they could go on with their lives? And one of its difficult questions, in recent years, researchers have developed a number of methods that enable them to remotely control specified groups of neurons and to probe the workings of neuronal circuits. Wow. So, yeah.
I fully understand.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, you know what this is? Destruction of mankind right here. Anytime these yahoos try to better something, they end up making it worse. People think we live longer because we have vaccines and we have better food. No, we live longer because of sanitation, and that's what Linny Poo said on the show. Sanitation, the reason that we could flush our toilets and how we could wash our hands and stay clean and shower twice a day if we have to, or 4 times a day if we want to. Sanitation is why we live longer, not because of anything else. We could wash our food, we could prepare, we could do more, we could wash our clothes every day if we want to. We could be as sanitized as we want in our lives, and sanitation is what made us, or has made us live longer. It's nothing else. Oh, do you hear that chainsaw? The chainsaw going on next door. I think it's the... All right, so here it goes. Violent clashes in Berlin as police break up pro-Palestinian demonstration. Wow. Pro-Palestinian... clashes broke out on the streets of German capital as police sought to disperse thousands of strong demonstration in support of Palestinian amid the ongoing violent standoff between Israel and Gaza. Chaotic scenes unfolded in Berlin's district of Neukölln as police officers attempt to break up a massive demonstration in support of Palestinians. Some 3,500 people joined the rally, so that's about 7,000 when they say 3,500, right? Condemned and called a barbaric aggression by the occupying power. They always say these small numbers, and then when you look at the actual people that are there, I think there's more than what they're saying. So there it is right there. I think there's a lot more people than there's always more people than they say. I don't know why the media always underestimates the occupation of, or how many people are at this event. Guys, I'm going to have to close the window. The chainsaw is going on next door. Sorry, guys, there's a chainsaw just going full blast next door. And the neighbor's going to be cutting his grass again. He cuts his grass every couple of hours. Do you guys have a neighbor that cuts his grass every 2 hours? Let me know in the comments. All right. So this is actually a Better Dwelling article on Mike in the Night. Whoopsie. Bank of Canada says their use of QE may have caused greater inequality. Woo!
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I love China.
So there it is right there. Bank of Canada says their use of quantitative easing, may have caused greater inequality. We're all in this together. Okay, we're not in it together, but we're really sorry about the one greatest transfer of wealth in history. So they're actually admitting it now. That was taken away from the Bank of Canada, a speech earlier this week in a totally not ironic speech on inequality. He suggested that quantitative ease can expand inequality. Shocking stuff, right? Who could have guessed? So there it is. I wish they had a graph showing or breaking down the inequality and how Canada's become more and more inequality. The inequality gap has grown, and there it is right there. QE is causing more inequality. So we got King Cash YouTube. Don't forget to check him out. He's got a YouTube channel. So we got Saul to Paul in the house saying, the man at the crazy house. Lord Humongous is saying, just like CPI numbers. And then Mystery in Between says, I have a neighbor who chews grass. Okay. All right. The Never-Ending Pie. What else are people commenting here? All right. We're getting some people here. Let's get Eduardo on the show real quick here and find out what the heck is going on in his neck of the woods. I'd like to know. You're tuned into Mike in the Night. Let's get Eduardo. It's been a while since... I think it's been, 3 weeks since we had him on? Eduardo.
Mikey, you got me here?
Yeah, I got you perfect. I could actually hear you for the first time.
Really? I just closed my YouTube, so... Oh, there you are. How do I make this bigger? Choose to share screen. Start sharing. Can you hear me now?
I'm seeing myself now, back. I'm seeing myself, a replay of myself here. I can't see you anymore. I'm seeing your screen. Look at me, guys, on replay. Look at my background. It's different from the one Eduardo has.
Oh, no, I broke Skype. Uh-oh. Is that better? No. Oh, man. Skype, why do they got to change Skype every week?
Well, every week they change the, they always change the, I have to go in and change stuff every week because they like to change it up.
I don't know what to do. Anyways, is this not working for us or what?
I could kind of see you in a little window on top of me.
I don't know how I did this. I broke it. Sorry. Enter full screen. No.
You're sharing the screen of if you seeing me, I can't see you.
Well, how do I turn off screen sharing?
I have no idea. I've never screen shared in my life.
Stop sharing. Maybe that'll do it.
There you go. Don't touch it. Leave it. Go ahead. What's going on, buddy?
I had a great day. Beautiful weather. I had about, 25,000 people marching in Toronto.
Okay, first of all, the media is going to spin it as 30 people, and it's a pro-Trump protest. Continue.
Actually, I seen one kid there with a Trump flag.
Do you know what that means? The media is going to spin the whole thing as a pro-Trump protest when they see one flag of 25,000 people.
Yeah. Breaking news. I don't know if you care for it.
Go.
Kevin J. Johnson just got arrested about a half hour ago.
Kevin J. Johnson got arrested?
Yeah.
For what?
You know, the mainstream media, he went live about a week ago, and he's quite upset what the Alberta Health Services did to Arthur Pawlowski.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, when I become mayor, I'm coming after each and every one of you despicable AHS service people for doing what you know is lawfully wrong. And
wow.
So they turned that into threats of violence and whatever, but he never said he was going to be violent. He just said he's coming after him, and they're going to be sorry.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's so. So they're coming after him. So they're using language. They're using language against the people. So basically, they could use that language against us anytime, any way they want, and it's called forming an opinion. But when we use a language against somebody, they can manipulate it and turn it any way they want and use the law on their side.
And I don't know if you heard about the Church of God Church in Aylmer, Ontario.
Yes.
So you know that the cops came in, or the sheriffs, in the middle of a church service, which is illegal under the Criminal Code of Canada, stopped the service, told everyone to get out, and proceeded to change the locks.
Wow.
And we're okay with that, right?
I'm not okay with that.
Well, why aren't more people just... We got to start beating down these cops or something. Something's got to be done.
Well, they're taking orders, right? And that's the problem. They're taking orders, and a lot of them are part of, like, they're just, they don't want to lose their jobs, Eduardo. And that's why I keep saying a lot of these police are going to have a really tough time getting a job in the private sector, right? So we got Damon Irish here saying here in New York, they are bribing teens with free ice cream if they get the jab.
Well, here on the highway, they're saying COVID vaccine will be available soon. Your turn is coming. And they're underlining your turn. It's like, ooh, great. My turn's coming. No. What else? Only one person got arrested at the end of the march.
So 25,000 people protesting in Toronto.
Yeah.
You know, I looked over the Canadian mainstream news. I didn't see a single peep of it.
Really?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
didn't see
that's
nothing. And if I do find it, it's a pro-Trump protest.
I was talking to someone down in Texas, and they say, we hear rumors that Canada's gone bananas, but we can't get any clips and any videos. They don't see any Facebook shots. I think Bill C-10 is being implemented. We just don't know it.
Yeah, Bill C-10 is going to be
No, I think it's here already. We just don't know it. Because if the Americans can't see what's going on up here, like how often do we see the live feeds from all the violence that's happening in France? You never see.
France is out of control, dude. France is so out of control right now that they're saying that 1 out of 3 citizens is protesting right now.
Beautiful.
But it's been going on for like the last 100 weeks. So, you know, this has been going on in 2019 and it's never stopped.
Oh, it can't be 100 weeks already, can it? That's 2
years.
Yeah,
because the Gilets de Jaunes was in the summer of 2019.
Wow.
And then 2 weeks after the French protest started, 2 weeks was Hong Kong.
Time flies, eh?
And Hong Kong was for about 70 weeks now. And then after After that one, then it was Lebanon, then it was Russia, then it was Brazil, then it was Argentina, then it was Chile, then it was parts of America, and then it was South Africa, and then it was parts of Australia, and then it was parts of New Zealand. And then, mysteriously, the COVID showed up in January of 2019. So December 2019 into 2020, January 2020, COVID started making the headlines, and all these protests or uprisings or riots or whatever the media wants to spin it as, or pro-Trump protests, started to simmer down.
What else? Yeah, so just another day in COVIDism.
COVIDism.
COVIDism, is that what we're going to call it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
John 3023Z is saying Canada's finished.
I don't think so. I think I'm pretty encouraged by what I've seen in Montreal. There was easily 250,000 people marching in Montreal 2 weeks ago.
I got nothing here. We got nothing here. You remember the 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, there was the big one in Winnipeg?
Yeah, with Chris Sky.
Yeah, there was a big one in Winnipeg. Let me tell you what they told us here on the radio. There was 50 protesters in downtown Winnipeg, and they were pro-Trump rally with 50 people, and several of them have been arrested, and their police are encouraging people not to go outside. There's about 50 people.
I saw something yesterday evening. I think it's in Nova Scotia, where they said anyone that goes and protests today for the world anti-lockdown protest, minimum $3,500 fines each.
In Nova Scotia, New Scotland.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I don't know if they protested. I'm hoping people just said, you know what, screw it. Because basically, you take the fines, you got to fight now. You can't fight later. Once we're locked down and tyranny's got its foot on your throat, game over, guys. And that's it. Either you stop this now or we don't stop it at all.
Yeah, we are definitely living in some mysterious times. Definitely. We're not being told anything. They're not I don't know why so many people have bought this narrative hook, line, and sinker, and that's what's scary.
Well, whenever I go shopping or something, I'm always asking, how are you enjoying your communism there, buddy? And I usually get, Rrr.
Yeah.
It'll be over, and the odd time I'll get, it'll be over soon. I just got my first jab, I'm waiting for the second one. I'm thinking, guys,
that's okay. Hey, you know what?
How do you think it is?
I've told people, like, to maybe, I don't even get, I'm not a scientist, okay, and I can't even read, but let me tell you something. I tell people, just look into the facts. Just look and do your own damn research. I'm like, what do you have a degree in? Oh, I have a degree in sociology. Okay, look into something. Don't get an alphabet like me that can't read to tell you how to do your own negotiating. People are afraid to negotiate for themselves, and that's the scary part.
So this has been bred into us, or through indoctrination, or through media manipulation, or...
You know what? It's been going on for the last couple of 100 years, and people are finally waking up to the whole veil, the whole World War II, World War I, the Civil War. All this stuff is people are starting to see through the cracks, and it's been going on. You know, back in the turn of the century, in the turn of the 20th century, they kept saying the media is the message, right? But the thing is, what is the message? And who runs the media?
Comply. Be nice. Be nice, Mike. Be compliant. Tolerate it.
So, Scotty is commenting here. Chinese fighter jets are flying over Canada right now. Chinese fighter planes circling around Canadian air right now. That is not surprising at all. For people watching, Canada is an autonomous region of China. The Chinese own more of our mines than we do, and they own a good chunk of our real estate here. I think by 2035, if Canadians start to default because they don't make nearly enough money as money launderers and criminals coming in from overseas, their properties will be bought up. Let me tell you something, Eduardo. A 2-bedroom, 3-bath, I don't know why it's 3-bath, condo sold on the island of Victoria. You know Victoria, right? Just off the beach, Victoria. Guess how much money guess how much money over asking a 2-bedroom condo sold for?
I don't know, $50.
No, over asking.
Yeah, $50.
$1 million over asking.
What was the sales price?
It was listed for $1.4 million. It sold on Thursday last week for $2.4 million.
Okay, so is this just a bunch of people flipping this, saying, Mike, I got to sell this house. I want the price of real estate in my area to go up. So we know the valuations.
It's not Canadians doing it. They don't have the capita. The Canadian proper, the working class Canadian does not have the capita to pull that.
Okay, so these foreigners come in and say, Mikey, I'm going to buy your property for $1 million over asking. We're going to raise the marketed price by $1 million. All my other buddies are going to start selling their condos. They're going to be getting $1 million over asking. Oh, they won't have to, because now that's the accepted valuation. And we're going to take that to the bank, and we're going to put a huge mortgage on it. See you later. What a great way to make money. And then the bank turns up one day and says, well, how come this mortgage isn't being paid? The guy defaulted. He took a $2 million mortgage on a property that's only worth $1.5 million, and he only put, what, a couple hundred thousand?
The condo was assessed at $266,000. It was listed for 1.4, and it sold for 2.4 million.
Wow.
Canadian dollars. 2.4 is it's like 1.9 million US dollars. And that's a Canadian condo. So it's kind of like the old, it's not like you see down in West Palm Beach, is nice condos with water fountains and pools. And you know what I mean? Like really nice, like with marble staircases and stuff. It's a Canadian condo. It's like something thrown together with a bit of rebarb and a little bit of aluminum siding. And you know what I'm saying? Some units have heat, some don't.
You ever play musical chairs, Mike, when you were a kid?
Yes.
Well, now they're doing it with real estate.
Right.
So it's the supply and demand, right?
Well, we have so many empty units across Canada. That's the scariest thing you could ever fathom.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone watches KJJ on Thursday nights, but we got a guy that's been coming in for the last month and change.
Mm-hmm.
Martin McDermott. He's been digging into the Terranet scandal with land titles and all that stuff and all the manipulation.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So he's up on this, and that's how they're manipulating shooting the prices of real estate sky high. And Trudeau's letting this happen. Mm-hmm. So we are allowing this. We voted for Trudeau. Not me personally.
No, I didn't either.
Well, if nobody voted for him, how the hell did he get in?
It's like Hillary Clinton. I've spoken to. I'm still if you're American, guys. Okay, there's 188 people. I'm pretty sure there's maybe 30 people from the United States watching this. Okay, if you're American and you don't have to have personally voted for Hillary Clinton, but could somebody tell me if you may know somebody through a best friend's brother, sister, girlfriend who heard from this guy who may have voted for Hillary Clinton, because I haven't still met to this day any single person that's voted for her. It was
that guy's neighbor that actually voted for her.
You know a guy and his neighbor voted for her?
No, it's your sister's brother's cousin's nephew knew a guy whose neighbor voted for her.
Really? I got to get him on the show, because I still haven't met a single person from the United States of America that actually voted for Hillary Clinton, and she got the popular vote. I'm still looking. I found a guy who claims he voted for Joe Biden. I don't believe him, but
whatever. Anyways, people just got to talk to the neighbors. Say, look, here's the pictures I've seen on Facebook or YouTube. This rally was 25, maybe 30,000. There's going to be aerial video coming out in the next day or two from King Nico, and they'll say, well, mainstream media basically didn't print much about it. There's only 25,000 or 30,000 people that marched, but they claimed 300. In Montreal, when the 250,000 marched there on the 1st of May.
That's May 1st. That was the same day that England did their Kill the Bill, May 1st.
Yeah.
And crickets. If you go to May 1st on the BBC, there's not a single thing mentioning it. And it's the biggest protest England had in the last 30 years.
Well, they're going to keep getting bigger. Anyways, shout out to Blunt News if he's watching.
Where is Blunt News? Did he get arrested too?
No, he was down at Queen's Park, though, around 4 o'clock.
Oh, was he? Did you talk to him?
Briefly, I was driving the float with the band.
Oh, you're driving the float. All right, all right.
Live music, man. Makes a protest a lot more joyful.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
A lot of people smiling, a lot of people filming the march going by. So this thing's going to keep growing now.
Well, I really hope God hears you. I really hope there's some sort of light at the end of this tunnel, because people are starting to turn to faith. People are starting to find their spiritual side. And that's what I'm telling people to do. It's all out of our hands. Yeah. We could voice our opinion. We could protest. We could do what we need to do. But when it comes to trying to control their narrative, it's not going to work. We need to voice our opinion and voice our whatchamacallit, our struggles, because it needs to be said.
Okay, I'm taking up too much time on your show. Two things I want to talk about. What Alberta Health Services is doing, what Ontario Health Services is doing, and especially Cruella de Villa or Eileen de Villa, whatever our Toronto health, whatever Nazi is. And you guys got to go check out, there's a good website, Canuck Law. They're based out of Vancouver. These people have dug in to see who's related to who actually sits on these advisory boards that are telling guys like Doug Ford, oh yeah, you got to lock down for another 2 weeks. Got to find out stuff like the, just north of Toronto, Newmarket?
Yes, Newmarket, yeah.
A high school teacher is doing the, running the numbers, telling York Region if they should be locking down.
A high school teacher?
Yes, sir. He's got a degree.
He's got a degree in drama?
He's got a degree in some kind of medical statistics or something. But he never actually worked at it. But because he's a high school science board head already, I figured, we'll give him some money on the side. He can crunch some numbers, feed us some bullshit. His models are shit, too. I've seen the models. But yeah, high school teachers telling us here in York Region how we're going to be locking down and when.
Hold on. Connect the dots. High school teacher, high school drama teacher. Our prime minister is a former high school drama teacher.
Yeah, well, that's what they call them. It doesn't mean he was
I'm being sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic.
You experienced it differently, Mike.
Hmm?
You must have experienced it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what he said to that woman that was groping?
Probably. Yeah, you must have. Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me get a woo here.
Japan.
Let me get a Ric Flair woo.
Come on, it's all in timing. It's too late now.
Yeah. Wow. I wish Richard Nixon was still alive, because he was basically booted for the Watergate scandal. If he was alive today, he'd be like, wow, I got impeached for that, and look what's happening today? Holy crap.
Yep. So another thing I want to bring up, so check out Canuck Law. I believe it's .ca, or it could be .com.
Can you in the Skype, just send me a link on the Skype to the actual website, and then I'll put it on here for people to see.
Okay.
When you get it, up. Yeah. Okay.
Second thing I want to dig into here, and guys, you got to take a look at this. FLCCC Alliance .net. Bunch of doctors. I think the guy that's heading it up, he's out of Wisconsin. They have been taking people that are on death's door, putting them on ivermectin, a couple of other items. They've got the cure for this COVID.
They have a cure for everything. Before any virus gets released, they always have a backup cure for certain people.
No, but this negates the whole use of the whole premise that we don't have a cure for COVID, so we got to have this emergency authorized vaccination program, and we got to lock you down because we don't have a cure. So now that they do have a cure, and it's a cheap cure, it's 89% effective in 3 days. And the only people that can't help is the ones that are morbid, well, basically on death's door for other reasons, comorbidities. Those people are going to die regardless. But everybody else can be cured within days. It's ivermectin is banned in Ontario. I've been trying to get it. You know what I went out and bought?
Case of beer?
No.
What is it? Is it a horse? Your
let
green screen's taking it
Yeah.
out. Your green screen's taking it out.
me see if I can take this off.
It's fine. Leave it. You look good. It looks good. Just
No,
read
no,
it to
take
us.
it off.
Read it to us. What is that? Toothpaste? Okay, bring it. Wait. Oral paste for horses?
Yeah, but look what's in it.
Oh, ivermectin. Ivermectin. That's the thing that's banned in Canada. You can't even get it over the counter.
Yeah, it's really, really, really hard to get. And I know people that own their own drugstores, and they're telling me, no, I can't get it. Says even if the doctor prescribed it to you, I would not be able to get it. So apparently, unless you got a really bad parasitic infection or something like that, they're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Now you can get it from the States. If you go to FLCCC Alliance, they will prescribe it and you can mail order this stuff, and it's cheap. So this is for studs, and when I was younger, you know, the stud on the box. So I don't know, maybe I can use it.
I don't know, man. I would confer. I would talk to somebody that knows something about that specific gel or whatever that paste is first. I don't have a problem with the whatever it's called.
If I get really, really, really sick, I'd sooner take this than the jab.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And I know other horse farmers, or actually farmers used to take this themselves. I don't know if people know this, but they used to, you know, people that have cattle or pigs or that, they'd give ivermectin to all their animals twice a year.
Okay.
And they take a shot of it themselves. And
All right.
that's why farmers never got sick.
Eduardo.
Yep.
Let me tell you a few things that they're looking at. They're looking at doing. Let me tell you a little secret before. Like, no one's talked about this. This is not on the news. This is nowhere. This is someone of important confidence told me this. Someone that's been leaking information to me from Ottawa has told me that the government is looking at taxing us in Canada, for over 20 gigabytes use of internet. I'm not joking. They want to roll this out. They want to discuss it in the fall, and they want to roll it out by January 1st. And every internet, I don't know if it's going to go with the Elon Musk satellite internet or whatever he's got going with that. But I know in Canada, they want to start taxing us after 20 gigabytes of use this way. And, hold on. Are you ready for this, Eduardo? They're going to be allocating CBC Canada. All that stuff is free and does not take up any bandwidth.
Cool. Someone will figure out a way to get around it.
Yeah. That's what they're looking at doing in Canada.
And
I'm not kidding you.
The gamers are going to lose their, you know what?
You think they care about the gamers? They don't care about nobody. It's about getting their agenda across.
The gamers are going to lose their shit. Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 gigabytes.
That would explain why they banned airsoft, wouldn't it?
Yep. Hold on, Maria Guy. Wait, Papa Pist is saying, my black market mind wants to bootleg Mecatin, now Eduardo. So people are looking. Yeah, we're gonna find a way around this, guys. I don't know, man. So Mr. Mobility, what's he been up to? I call your government there. Your Doug Ford. I call him Mr. Mobility.
Doug Fraud? Is that who you're referring to?
Yeah, Doug Ford there. I call him Mr. Mobility because he says we need to limit mobility. What the hell does that guy know about mobility?
Too much cheesecake? Maybe he's not as mobile as
he
he
put one
used to
foot
be?
in front of the other and he'd be out of breath.
Well, limit the mobility. If you look at that document that was released, what was it, last November from the Liberal Party, and everyone's trying to figure out if it's legit or not, and that document's been pretty much bang on. They said we're going to get more roadblocks. They've got roadblocks out in Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm. They got roadblocks here in BC, from what I've heard.
You've heard or you've seen them?
I haven't seen them, but I don't leave my I don't leave my city too much. I go to the other bordering city of me where it's got 4 times the population, but there's no roadblock going there.
Yeah, but they did put BC into zones where you can't travel from one zone to the other.
I think it's Vancouver I can't go to, the coast. Guys, here's a picture of Mr. Mobility here. Oops. Oh, they're trying to sell me a pair of glasses here. Here it is. Here he is, Mr. Mobility. Man, he can't even fit in the screen. Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, Mike, that's all I really want to talk about tonight. And I will look for FLCCC Alliance, guys. We got to get the group from the ones that Vaccine Choice Canada. They've done some great fundraising. They've got some expensive lawyers. We got to hammer them to start this lawsuit. Let's go for the jugular. We have the cure. We know we have the cure. The data's there. This all falls apart. And all it takes is 1 or 2 corrupt judges to slow it down, which is why they've closed down the courts. Kevin J. Johnson, he probably got arrested because there's a corrupt judge in Edmonton, Calgary.
Oh, there's corruption everywhere. It's not just in Calgary. Well, you know what I mean. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but Judge Rourke is one of those.
Let me call him. I got him on Skype. Let me see if I could get him while he's in jail.
KJJ?
Yeah. Tell him to turn on. Are you allowed to have a phone while you're being held in jail? Because he's being held, right?
He's in remand right now.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either, but I'm going to call him right now.
Good luck.
All right.
Thank you. Mike, thanks for having me on.
God bless you. We'll talk soon, and stay strong, Eduardo. And thanks for the updates. Send me a link to the clips of today's 25,000 man protest today in Toronto, because the media is going to say there's 30 people there, and it's a pro-Trump protest.
Go to my Facebook page. I just shared a link from there about half an hour ago.
Okay, give me the link again here in Skype, okay? And give me the one to the other Toronto one, okay?
Yep, I'll see what I can find. I'll Skype it to you.
Ciao.
See ya.
All right, folks, that's Eduardo on the ground in Toronto, in the city of Toronto. I want to get a link to that, what's going on with that, because it's a major deal. So this is actually happening. People going door to door, knock, knock, your vaccine is here. A team of hospitals rolled out a door-to-door vaccine administration. Wow. Okay, so what is going on? Kevin got arrested. Yeah, Kevin got arrested. We're going to see if we can get him on the show. Apparently, language is forming an opinion. Oh, Blunt News sent me a photo. Oh, here it is. Eduardo driving the truck. Okay, we got a video here of Eduardo driving the truck. Oh, the video's like 2 seconds long. There it is right there. There he is right there driving that truck. That's from Blunt News. This is the 30-man protest in Toronto. So there's 30 man here. So they would say, was it 25,000 people showed up? I don't see a single soul wearing a mask. So yeah, hugs over masks. Facts over fear. This is by Toronto General Hospital. This is like right downtown Toronto. There he is, Eduardo driving the truck. This is from Blunt News. Shout outs to Blunt News for sending us. This is today. And no, it's not a pro-Trump protest in Canada, because that's how they keep spinning it as. They did it in New Zealand. They did it in the UK. They've done it in Australia. You can't even trust any of the media anymore, because they don't even know how to lie anymore, because they got so bad at lying. All right. Thank you, Blunt News, for sending us that. I appreciate it. And let's see if we can get him. He's got his Do Not Disturb on. All right, I really want to get Nitin in we need to find out, because there's something major happening right now in India. It's actually big. So we've discussed here on the show the big protests in India, the 200,000 man protests they've had. They've had some of the biggest protests in human history because of the privatization or taking private land from the farmers to incorporate. Man, I don't even know, to be honest, Like, I understand what the bill is about, but it's so vague that the governments there could pretty much do anything they want. And apparently, the president of India is nowhere to be found. So let's see if Nitin in India picks up the phone.
Hello.
Nitin, how you doing, buddy? Hello, can you hear me? Nitin?
Hello.
Nitin, can you hear me? Oh, he's actually muting me. Oh, he hung up. He was accidentally muting me. It's almost like they're shutting down Skype on us. They wanna start shutting stuff down here. Yo. Nitin, can you hear me? Nitin. He can't hear me. Oh, he's probably at a party or something. He's probably, you know what I'm saying? He's probably somewhere and he can't answer his phone. All right, let's move on. We'll see if we get him on later on the show. He's probably at work, and I'm probably bugging him at work. Okay, he's calling back. Yo, Nitin, what's up, buddy? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could hear you. You there, buddy?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. What the heck is going on, dude? You sent me a pile of very scary articles. You said something about the funeral pyres or stuff that's burning. Can you explain to us what's happening there on the ground in India?
1 second, Mike. I'm just sending you something.
And we got here the some funeral pyres in India.
Just open that on this one, right?
Yeah, okay, funeral pyres. Yeah, sure. Okay, and what can you tell us about this?
This is the number of deaths which is happening here.
Sure.
So this is just a snapshot of how many people are dying.
Okay.
So they're literally waiting for they're waiting in line to get their loved ones like traditionally burnt. So that is the thing which is happening. And the thing which you said about the Ganges, right, where the bodies are being dumped.
Mm-hmm.
So I just asked one of my friend who stays up north. So she told me that because of the facilities cannot handle this much volume. So what they do is they actually take the body in, start burning, then close the door, and before the body is completely charred out, they just throw it into the water.
Because it takes a lot of fuel to burn a body.
Yes, and the wood which is required to burn, yeah, it's they're not to be blamed, Mike. The problem is that the volume of bodies which is coming through, right? So the thing which I showed you, right, this is like a live shot like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah.
So you can see, right? And there was a meme by China saying that they were launching a rocket and we are burning bodies. So that was viral.
Wow.
Have you seen that clip, Mike?
No, I haven't.
So yeah, I think it was I think it was Xi Jinping who actually made this comment, and so there was a rocket on the left and the funeral pyres on the right, and then just made a comment saying that we are burning a rocket and they're burning people.
Wow. Doesn't surprise me with China. China always has something sly or something they need to throw in there, right?
I don't know, Mike. I think humanity is dead. Like that entire notion is dead. Like people just monopolize on the people's misery.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I'm really
sad.
disingenuine with all this stuff. And like I'm losing, like it's like our moral compass is falling apart.
I don't think the moral compass is there anymore, because when certain people do these kind of things, it's just not right anymore.
Oh, so what's happening? Someone's commenting to ask, are people dying of starvation, or they're dying of the jab, or what are these people dying of, like, realistically?
Realistically, because of the virus, the people who have existing conditions are having a lot of difficulties, and there's a lot of issues with the ventilators availability. into the hospitals. The medical system is not equipped to take this much volume. So that is the problem. So people, there are a lot of people, like aged people between the age of 45 to 65 and above. They have existing conditions, right?
Right.
So if they get this kind of virus, it just overthrows your immunity. If it is weak, the existing conditions just act up, and the hospital. And the first thing what happens is people just panic the moment they say it's positive. Like people, the sanity just is lost, and they just go. It's like Mike Tyson versus someone. It's like that, and they just rush to the hospital. The anxiety plays a huge role. So I spoke to a few doctors, and they told, like, this comes, you need to calm yourself, let it make sure that you eat well, sleep well, make sure that you're healthy enough. Take it will go away. Like 10 days you'll suffer, after that it will go away.
Right.
So the first thing or the doctor said that you don't have to be scared. Anxiety plays a big part. If you're anxious, your body is anxious. So that is the first thing. Even few of my friends who has got this. One of my best friend, he got married last year. His bride, before the wedding, she got this. She was in the quarantine for like 14 days. She told it was like it was quite painful, like the tiredness, all that thing. But after 14 days, she was quite well. Everything was good. The first thing, the calmness is lost. And we have a lot of issues with the oxygen. There's literally lines in front of the hospitals where they actually want to admit people, and there's no beds available.
You know what you could do, Nitin? You could take some video clips with your phone and just send them to me on Skype, directly on Skype.
Yeah, I'll do that. The problem here is it's a lockdown here, Mike. So you can't go out post 9 a.m. in the morning. Like, you need to get all your necessities before 9 a.m. And after that, if you take your vehicle out, they seize it. And there are like roadblocks every 2 kilometers. Like, I can't get out of my area. It's like my suburb. I just can't get out of here. Like, they have barricaded every road out. They told it will be there till next week. I think they'll extend it to the end of the month. Yeah. Okay. So regarding the articles you just sent, I'll break it down
let's go over them. Hold
one.
on. India's decision authorizing 5G trials without Chinese companies. A sovereign one, says U.S. State Department. So India is going to authorize 5G without China.
Yeah, they already had the negotiations going on. I think it was one of the. I think Jio, a prominent SIM company here, the cell phone company here, who actually got the contract for 5G. They are trying to improvise that. And Jio is owned by the richest man in India. So yeah, he has a lot of perks. Basically, he controls the government. So yeah.
Interesting. Let's move on. Perishing issue makes farmers go cold. So they've been throwing tens of thousands. Now listen to this. 50,000 small and large-scale tomato farmers. 50,000 farmers. So when I tell you guys there's a protest of 300,000 people in India, believe it. This is just the tomato farmers. 50,000 farmers. And just tomatoes.
Yeah, the first article which I sent is in the north. As I told you in the previous show, where one of my friends is trying to lift up his agro-based industry. So I spoke to him. He told, due to this lockdown, the farmers have their produce, but they're not able to move the goods.
Wow.
So last week, they're literally giving up all their stuff for free to the general public because they have no way to store it. The government is not actually looking into this, and they're literally giving it away. They had a very good produce this year, but they're not able to move it around because of the lockdown. No transportation. The storage units cannot accompany this much
refrigerated units are over capacity.
Yes. So that is the main point. And transport is another issue, Mike.
Yeah.
So since due to this lockdown, the problem is you cannot get from one state to another state without passes, a negative test, and all that thing.
Passes?
Yeah. So it's
what
like
if you have a
lockdown
pass for Disney, like an annual Disneyland pass?
No, you need to have a COVID pass, like a reason why you're traveling. You need to register in the site, and you need to get a pass. And to which state you're going, you need to register there also and get a pass from that state. And in the border, they actually check and you need to have a test results, which was conducted 48 hours ago minimum. That's the maximum, 48 hours. Only then you can actually travel. So they're basically making people not to travel. So they're putting all these restrictions.
All right, next
So
up.
that is the main reason why this is happening. Like a lot of a lot of farmers who have a good produce, they're not able to move the products.
That's a huge issue. I got one here.
Yes.
Hold on. It's going to tie into what we're talking about. Farmers protest live updates. Haryana extends suspension of mobile internet services in several. So they're removing internet on people's internet.
Yes.
So they can't organize rallies.
Yes. So the farmers here were like really smart. A lot of youth were participating in this. So what the youth did, they used the social media platform to rally up the people so that they get organized. So the government foresaw this and they just cut the cell service, internet, Wi-Fi, everything. So they just crippled people. So that's what happened. And I just searched regarding the farmers strike. There's not even one news for the last 30 days, Mike.
You know, there's several 100,000 farmers still protesting today.
Yes. So I spoke to one of my old office colleague when I used to work with her. She's in Delhi. So I called her up and I asked her. She's like, "Yeah, it's still going on. They're outside the city, in their own designated protest zones, and they're just still protesting. So there's no social coverage, no media coverage for them."
Nitin, let us connect the dots here, okay?
Yep.
Let's play connect the dots. You got the big French protests in the summer of 2019 that went on for about 100 weeks. It's been going on and still. You got the Hong Kong protests that's been going on for 70 weeks now. You got the protests, all these protests going on in 2019. Okay, we got Lebanon, we got Russia, we got South America. Everybody's up in protest in the summer of 2019 into the end of 2019 towards Christmas. And what appears at the end of 2019 out of China? COVID.
The virus.
COVID miraculously shows up at the end of 2019 into 2020 to stop the Hong Kong protests for something. Now, could this be purposefully being released to alleviate the protests, the 200,000-400,000 man protests in India? Are they purposely doing this? And this mysterious virus all shows up?
So what I think is there are like two sides to it. This might be purposefully done, one thing, or this might be a accidental virus where people actually took this to an advantage to do what they want, like put the control in, and they can where they can actually control the narrative.
Yeah, I'm thinking that you start connecting dots because I'm going to tell you something, my friend, and I'm no scientist and I can't read, but I want to tell you something. There's nowhere near enough wood there in those funeral pyres to burn a body.
That's the same thing which I said, Mike. So once it's a little charred, they just dump the body into the river.
If it's a little charred.
Yes. So the problem is they're not equipped to take this much volume in.
Oh.
It's like there is a limit to what they can do, right? And one of my friend, I told you last time when I spoke to you, right? Her uncle passed away. They had to wait like 6 hours with the body to get it burnt.
Holy smokes, man. Yeah.
So next topic, Mike. So the next thing which I sent you is the second article where the sedition law.
I have here NCB arrests 4, seizes 34 consignments of psychotropic drugs.
Just before that.
Oh, I didn't open it. It's probably something that doesn't open on my side. Let me see here. Oh, there's so much. Are you talking about the cyclone?
No. It's up. It's after the farmers things, Mike. You want me to resend it again for you?
Which tell me the thing. PM missing? Yeah. Where's the prime minister?
Yeah, that's a very good question. He's been missing for quite some time. So that's not the main issue, Mike. That's not the main issue. The government and the opposition, they just want to pull each other's back. So did you get that message, Mike? Just now I sent one.
Okay, you sent one right now. Let's check it out. Here we go. Here it is, right here. Sedation law can't be used to quieten the disquiet Delhi court.
So the government actually tried to use this particular narrative to control the farmer strike, which did not go well. Like once they used this, the farmers were really pissed. They're like they just lost it.
So explain to us what this is and how it's a lot of angry people here about looking at this, and this they're not happy with this.
Oh, they're not happy at all. So the thing is that they try to, what do you say, put the term terrorism on this.
Oh,
particular-
okay, I see what you're saying now. So they're making it seem like they're peacefully protesting, but they're making it seem like, because I heard the police in India were the ones that were causing the troubles in there.
Yeah, those rumors are still going on, but yeah, I think there was a few reporters who actually tried to uncover the truth, but what happened was the government did something and that just went away.
Wow.
So this is something they're still fighting. After they did this particular thing, the farmers were pissed and they're like, "We are not moving away until we get something out of this."
I never knew there was this much farming in India until I seen that many people at that protest a few weeks ago, a couple of 100,000.
Mike, we have a lot of farmers, Mike. Like in the north, like the tech part of this one, like the software companies are concentrated into the cities, and there are a lot of villages who actually depend on farming. My uncle is a farmer who does farming on spices, mostly for export. There are a lot of farmers in that's the thing, Mike. There are a lot of farmers in India. Like on the west side of the country, we have a lot of people who grow wheat, rice, and the south side prominently rice. We have a lot of farmers, Mike.
Okay, let's go back on to. I want to go back here. Prime Minister is missing.
Yeah, this was something which was running viral. As you can see, the second clip which I showed, right, where the opposition party leader, he's actually blaming. Instead of doing something with the situation, they just put the blame game. And
You
if
know,
you read the
it kind of
article,
reminds me of Canada. Our Prime Minister disappears for 5-6 weeks and then reappears in a couple of weeks later, and you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I think they're trying to learn from Houdini, the disappearing act. So instead
Houdini.
of doing something, yep, Harry Houdini. So instead of and look at the allegations, Mike. Like we are having issues with the oxygen, the medicine, and they just try to they just want publicity, Mike. So this particular guy is like, wow, he's the king of publicity.
King of publicity.
Seriously,
All right.
like. So the next article, Mike. So I think yesterday the Prime Minister came in and called on all the state ministers to had a call regarding the cyclone and all. I think it is going, but these times that when the politicians needs to be together, they just want to bite each other's back. I mean, that is really sad.
Well, it's getting to the point where they just don't want. Oh, I can't open this article. There's a few articles he sent me that's not allowed to open. Like it just won't open.
I'll go with the next one, Mike. This is where the Youth Congress members. So there are like two major parties in India. One is the BJP and one is the Congress. So the BJP is the one ruling the country right now. So the Youth Congress members, they had a lot of notification regarding the hospitals and other places requiring oxygen. So these guys actually collated oxygen and tried to give it to these hospitals and other places. But the government spin it in a different way. And yeah, that just went to hell.
Well, the governments are always going to spin the opposition as criminals, right?
Yeah, it's like that story, Mike. The winners decides the rules.
Yeah. I wish we could get like more of a Cobra Commander government here in Canada. It would make more sense, you know.
I know, right? So I think then we would require the GI Joes also.
All right,
I still
Nitin,
remember that cartoon.
I'm
So
gonna
the
let
next one, this one is even more funnier, Mike. Look at the narcotics thing.
Yeah, the one NBC arrests for.
Yeah. So the NBC arrest that's 34 consignment of hallucinogens and 340 kgs. That was like 1 week ago.
That's a lot of drugs.
340 kilograms. And there's another one which is not there in the media where they actually cleared close to 300 kgs of marijuana.
Wow.
So these drugs were coming on from Sri Lanka in a fishing boat where the Navy actually intercepted them and got
But this has
everything.
to be government-owned facilities. I don't see some guy in Sri Lanka in his backyard with a goat making this.
Yeah, I don't think they have the capacity to have this.
Not
much
at
volume.
home. This
Nope.
kind of drugs is government.
Yep. This is
So-
the situation here, Mike.
I'm telling you,
As I-
this much drugs, this is not. I don't see some. I can't see it being made like, you know what I'm saying. Okay. And people are like, well, Mike, what about like, you know, the big drug cartels in Colombia? That's different. They have entire farms of cocaine fields. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. This stuff, you need like laboratories to make these hallucinogens, and to make 340 keys of this, you need like big facilities.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
Yes, that was my favorite series actually.
Like, you
Damn,
need
good. Walter
facilities
White.
like that. You just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like you know.
Yeah, below the laundromat where he actually makes all those things.
Yeah, but this is huge. 340 keys.
So this is something which
that will fill up a whole hull of a ship.
Yes. So this is something which I asked one of my friend who's a reporter, who's an investigator reporter. So I asked her, what is the deal with this? So she told, like, off the record, I'm telling you this, like, they actually source it from different countries and they have channels to get it inside the country.
Wow.
Like, on a non-official capacity, there are a lot of drug users in the country. And like, there's not much things done about it.
Wow.
So this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow. Everything's falling apart around the seams.
Yes, and on top of that, we have a nice cyclone which is hitting. I think I sent you a video of a two-story house just falling down.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah,
It's currently hit Kerala. That's my native. It's in the south east, west side of it, west side of the country. Like, we have the rainfall is so much that they're actually opening up all the dams. So
hold on, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Mike, can you ask about the antivirals that India was handing out? It looked like they were managing the outbreak.
Mike, the antivirals which we have did have some effect, but yeah, after a certain time, people were like pissed off with the lockdown and they just started freely moving. So even though there was no actually from the last 4-5 months, there was no much restrictions. Like, we can have a social gathering and all, make sure that everything is spaced out.
And then you get the farmers' protests, and all of a sudden everything starts happening again.
Yeah, my friend's wedding was in last November 2020. This was after the first initial lockdown. After that, everything just mellowed out. And regarding the antivirals, I think the Serum Institute is actually trying to do their best, but even they cannot have so much volume, right? Like, we have a lot of people. The population here is the second largest, and one institution cannot handle so much.
Right.
So I heard they're trying to get vaccines. We are getting a lot of help from a lot of countries, but the problem is that there's no proper management of this, so it's not getting allocated properly.
Right.
So
Allocation's a big deal, right?
Yeah. I think what we require is a rapid action force, where people who actually know what they're doing, like crisis managers, risk managers, who know where the risk is and they can allocate resources.
And that's becoming a major issue because the people in charge, there's a lot happening. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the blind samurai leading the army. That's what's happening right now.
The blind leading the blind.
Yeah. It's like the blind leading the entire army, which is not happening anything.
Right. Okay, Nitin, I'm going to let you go. We're going to move on. I thanks for the update from one of the second most populated country in the world, India. Nitin, I appreciate it. Send me more links through the week, and we'll get you on again soon, okay?
Okay, Mike. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
You too. Have a good weekend. God bless you.
God bless you, Mike.
Bye. That is our man, Nitin, correspondent for Mike in the Night in one of the second most populated countries in the world, India, giving us a kind of a little bit of a, what you might call it. Here's the Canuck law. This is support. This is I guess this is the website that Eduardo was sending me to follow. So here it is here. It's called Canuck Law. I'll give you guys a link in the thing, canucklaw.ca. So if you're in Canada, you kind of want me. I don't care if you speak English. You want to follow this and see. There it is right there. Mike, please ask him how the export of goods have been affected. Well, the export of goods, we're going to ask. Well, we're seeing how the food's being handled, and the food is being mismanaged with the tomatoes and all the other spices and foods because of the lockdown. People can't move food around. All right, let's go over a few other articles here real quick. So there's the protests here. So violent clashes in Berlin as police break up pro-Palestinian demonstration. Whoopsie, Bank of Canada say their use of QE may have caused greater inequality. Yep, QE is basically impoverishing the poor and we're middle class. Hope prices don't get high. U.S. store mocks Biden for rising gas prices with Hunter Biden meme sign. So this is the Hunter Biden meme sign. I'll open this up for you guys to see. It's a beautiful meme sign here. There it is right there. And there's gas prices. They're pretending he is the gas prices getting high. Hope gas prices don't get high. So there's Hunter Biden there. That's a really cool meme that they did here for Hunter Biden here. Imagine, guys, imagine Hunter Biden's son. Donald Trump was the father of Hunter. Like imagine Donald Trump's son was in the same position Hunter Biden was in. They would dissect that laptop. They would be crushing 24/7 updates. But unfortunately, because it's not who they want to put under the microscope, they go ahead and start pulling this BS. Hope prices don't get too high. Hold on, where's my nice person here? You're not a nice person.
You're not a nice person. You're not a nice person.
So there it is. There's your Hunter Biden meme at the gas station there. Hope gas prices don't get high. There's gas prices. That reminds me of Towley. I could see Towley from South Park saying that. All right, let's move on. Joe Biden holds first phone call with Palestinian President Abbas. Also calls Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu following Gaza bombings. And it's kind of funny that this is happening in Israel. I have an Israeli correspondent that is setting up, who will be calling us next week. Hopefully will be calling us next week on the show to give us an update on what's actually happening on the ground in Israel. They'll come on Mike of the Night and give us an update because he found one of my videos and said, Mike, you are actually talking about, you're making sense in your discussion about the mix-up or the loss in government, when you lose confidence in your governments, and that's what's happening in Israel, and they kind of want to, just like COVID, something shows up and boom, we're going to have to back burner what's going on so that we don't actually have to kind of front. But imagine how many innocent people are dying because of one or two or three man's causes. That's crazy stuff to think about when you actually metaphorically break it down. Terrorist state, Israel must be stopped. Turkish President Erdogan says, adding to his crossed all limits. Coming from a guy that sent his army, that's been taking over or that's been stealing Syrian territory, that's been moving his border into different countries. And expanding the Turkish border, coming from a guy who, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You guys know Aragon. So
you're not a nice person.
All right, let's move on. Loneliness and cancer. Recent study reveals the connection. Now, guys, I want to talk about this for a few seconds because I was talking with a doctor about a year or two ago when we were discussing on the channel how loneliness is actually more dangerous than obesity. Like, being obese isn't as bad as being lonely. And I struggled with loneliness for a good 5 years. I struggled with loneliness for a long time. I lived in Vancouver. I'm under 5'10". I'm under 5'10", and I don't have to say anything anymore. You have a lot of box to check to be with a girl that's got 80 to 100 grand in student loan debt and complains about everything. So, yeah, loneliness was a big thing for me, and I went through it, and it's tough. It is a tough one. Okay, let's move on here. U.S. plans large exercise in Central Europe, attacks Russia. So I guess they're practicing. Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby has announced multiple war games to be held across Europe, demanding that Russia should open up its defense drills on its borders. I don't know about this one, guys. All right, let's move on. CDC's misleading stat exaggerates risk of outdoor COVID spread. Agency says it was done to protect the people. So over-exaggerating people and putting them in fear basically creates, I guess it's helping you. That's why Florida is suing the CDC for all its misrepresentation, and no one should take anything these alphabet companies say. Just take it with a grain of salt. And look at this one, guys. As COVID numbers fade, Americans brace up for old normal mass shootings. Hold on. Violent extremists could exploit lifting. So listen to this, of COVID restrictions and attack large gatherings, U.S. official warns. I'm going to reread this again, just one more time. Pay attention. Violent extremists could exploit lifting of COVID-19 restrictions and attack large gatherings, U.S. official warns. Usually when we get warnings like this, it's not like these guys actually have a crystal ball and they could see the future. They're actually foreshadowing what will be happening because it's in their agenda to prepare and get people ready for this. And then 6 months later, we told you about this was going to happen once COVID lifted. It's like we're rewriting history as we go along. So there it is. As COVID numbers fade, Americans brace up for old normal mass shootings. And there it is. So they're trying to bring this back in a way, or trying to warn people that this might become a thing in America. So just be careful. I'm afraid when they start publishing things like this. I am very afraid when I see things like this, because it's like they're telling us, oh, we told you, we warned you. Yeah, Bat Soup is saying that's deliberate. All right, let's get someone else on the show. I need to get Linny Poo on for a few minutes here if she's available to talk about the CRISPR, what the heck is going on, and let's see if somebody picks up here. Yeah,
there I am.
That's deliberate. Oh, you got to lower your volume. I could hear myself talking to myself. All right, let's get
my goodness.
All right, perfect. How you doing, Lenny? I'll put you on full screen here.
Okay.
Good. Lenny Poo here from Manitoba is going to give us an update on what the heck is going on with this. Okay, you sent me that thing about the magnet thing to reverse the mind's calibration of thought.
Yeah. All that, what's that all called? It's all the biology mixed with
biology mixed with Scientology and a little bit of ball juice. We lost you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we don't see. You probably pressed something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, darn. Oh, here, maybe I pressed that. How's that? Nope.
There you are.
There.
Okay. So what's going on with that? You sent me 4 articles related to it in 4 different angles. This is serious stuff, because they can't feed starving people in our own country, and the homelessness is getting out of control, but they want to retrain our minds?
Yeah, that's actually from the Government of Canada's website. Yeah, all of it. And that's a rabbit hole. Wow. That you see all the links that are associated with that. Wow. It's everything. It's what can it do? It can actually even, well, that's what we're working on now. All the COVID vaccines with their genetic, modification, and the CRISPR technology that's coming, that exactly is what everything I sent you there, that's all what they are talking about doing with their technology.
So here it is. This is coming from the Government of Canada, Policy Horizons Canada, exploring bio-digital convergence.
Yes.
And there's all these links that go into everything, and there's and then it goes into different biological and digital technology to convergence of biological and digital systems in the human biological structure.
Yep.
What the heck does any of this mean?
Well, there's a lot in there, but what it is basically it's the transhumanism. That is what it is. It's merging people with machine, with synthetic. Actually, it's synthetic. The internal robotics that we all have that's biological. Well, they're going to mix it all with synthetic and take over. Yep.
Okay, can I ask, if there's still people starving and families losing their children to fentanyl overdoses and all this Mickey Mousing that's happening, why would they put money into this when they could, realistically, we're just adding 2 + 2 here. We're not even asking anyone to change water into wine. Why are they doing this?
Well, they're doing all of this because they have been doing this. Always is what rulers do to people. They like to control them. And now we have better technology to control people, right? So, what better way? Like, they have the technology, they can come in, and also when you're not a human biologically anymore, not only can you be patented, but you don't it could be argued you don't have rights anymore as a human, right? So the rights we have, if you're very altered, where do your rights go? And then if you look at that, they talk about, because you've heard of Internet of Things, so it's Internet of Body too, right? So,
Yeah, I heard of that, yes.
Yeah, Internet of Bodies. So every single thing is regulated inside, and they have that technology, and the Canadian government, it has all this to try to explain what it is and what it does. And I know, from other things that controlling our thought is a big part of that too. So it's not just, wow, I can plug in and see, how my body's acting, like it's saying in detail that it might say to you, oh, you need a bit more soy milk. And then you'll make soy milk somehow in your fridge. I don't know. There's all this
from a replicating.
Yeah, no, because there's, how they have the little printers.
Mm-hmm.
So you print yourself some stuff, and then like it's saying that, you can print like a liver for a little puppy who needs a liver. Your kid can do it as a science project. Wow. And so they're talking about people being able to even do this. Will that be true? I don't know. Maybe, how they are, they try to sell it like it's going to be some great thing. But what it really is crazy development. Oh, they even talk about hybriding. Woo! Like joining things together, like really working DNA and making crazy creatures with it.
Why? Okay, so this is the other article you sent me. Genetically engineered magneto. Protein remotely controls brain and behavior. Why are we messing with this crap for?
Control. See, they used to control us with marketing and advertising, right? That was the only way they had. Well, you go back at the beginning of history, and mankind has been controlled by big dynasties. Not everywhere, maybe farmers, or the people self-sustained, but let's say when Rome really had big parts of the earth, they try to control, and they're ruling nations. So they go to the heads of the nation and say, okay, we need you to help us rule your people. You're with us now. But, say China, their Chinese leader, he gets how Chinese people are. So you can, help these guys figure out how we're going to rule the smaller, right? It's broken up. And it's just China. Spread. And it's the same thing. They monitor how the people feel. What do the people think? Oh, what should we do for them? Hey, let's say we're going to give them more food, how they did in those days, remember? You've watched ancient shows. You know what they've done to try to do. And then they control information. That's a big one. So like the Aztecs. They would control the information, and then wow the people with, hey, there's going to be like this comet come by or something happened great in the sky that they know because they watch, and they can tell when it's going to get hot or cold. They can tell the seasons, but they wow the people with this and be like, crops are coming, the sun's coming strong. The people are like, how do you know? But that's because they were watching seasons. So they control the information, they make themselves look great, and they rule people with it. And same thing is going on now, but in a better, it's just same control of information. Here's what we want you to know. We'll wow you with our science, which is invented mainly for a lot of it. But, right, it's like, we have your health. We know how to make you very healthy. You want to be healthy, stick with us. Meanwhile, that's all used to control. And then, of course, TV. But now they won't need TV. They don't need to manage so much the commercials in this case. They're just come and manage you from inside. They'll tell you what to think. Yeah. Right? It's just fine-tuned.
So, guys, if you're just tuning in, we got a whole pile of people just tuning in. Policy Horizons Canada. This is from the Government of Canada, exploring biodigital convergence here. And we got Lenny Poo on it to talk about it with us. She sent me this, and let's go into biodigital convergence is opening up a striking new ways to change human beings, our bodies, our minds, and behaviors. Change or create other organisms, alter ecosystems, sense, store, process, and transmit information, manage biological innovation, structure and manage production and supply chains.
Yes. Control it all. And the supply chains, now they come from afar. I mean, this is a plan. Just because it's a plan, who knows what will happen in the end. And the plan can't happen overnight. But it's kind of like if you're making fake meat in your printer, you don't really right? Do you need it all to come from wherever? I mean, this is their idea. I think that's what the supply chain control has a lot to do with as well.
Yeah, make fake printer. They're going to make food. They're going to start passing that. And then, Mr. Sweater guy who's getting a divorce brought up the other day again about, human beings need to get used to eating synthetic meats.
Yeah. And, we're biological. So our cells are biological. We're a biological machine. Our cell needs a biological thing to replace itself. I mean, how long can you sustain mixing synthetic with biological? Well, they're going to find out. I mean, we kind of know from GMO foods, and there are GMOs, but that'll be humans. That's what they want to do. It's a little experiment. And I mean, how can it withhold and how can it be healthy, But that Gates, so Bill and Melinda Gates' little divorce, you know what I think that is? I could be wrong, but really I think when I heard that, it's like, why? What is that? Really, I think that because I do have hope, and long term, who knows, but I do have hope. And I do believe that the law catches up with people. It's not just hope. It's because I know one thing about truth. Truth is an entity of itself, and it wants to be known. It does. So people can think they're going to do stuff, but the truth has a way because it itself wants to be known. And it does. It comes through, and eventually the truth is known. And we do have a lot of lawsuits. You don't hear about them on mainstream. They're everywhere. And I think eventually the truth will rise. But all roads point to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The WHO. The CDC.
Let me get a woo here.
Right? Oh, yeah. All roads.
The CDC is getting sued by Florida, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's lots of lawsuits everywhere. Yep. And the CDC, guess who's been controlling that? Like when all the corruption comes out, it's going to feed back to Gates. And if that foundation's gone, too bad. Because that foundation... Right? Which is
I think humanity has existed long enough without the Bill Gates Foundation. Yeah. Hello, are we losing you? Are we losing? I think we're losing her. We're losing Linny Poo. I think her internet's freezing up on her.
Pardon?
Oh, well, we got you back. Hold on, your internet went off there for a second. Linny, you there? We lost her. I hope she's okay. Let me see if I try calling her. All right, let's see if we can get you better here. There we go.
There we go.
New connection here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know how that happened.
Okay. Here we go. Linny, here it goes. Ready?
Okay.
So I got information that no one has. It's on Mike in the Night. Okay, you're hearing it first.
Okay.
They're gonna actually start allocating internet services, and anyone that goes over 20 gigabytes will be starting to the government will start taxing per gigabyte after. And mainstream media news will be free to watch, and it takes no bandwidth. They're actually putting something together for that.
It'll be all you need. For all the people who are lining up and doing whatever, there you go. I guess they'll be happy. And for the rest, well, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. So
What are you going to do about that? That's obvious. That's just an obvious. Here's free. Like our prime minister said, what a joke. When he came on and said, take your vaccines, they're free. And everyone's like, they're free? Who do you think's paying for these vaccines? We're paying for, the guy is oblivious. But yeah, they're going to give away free and people are going to think, gee, free. Sure. Let's have it.
It's scary. It's actually very, very scary, Terry. And I don't even know, where, like we're trying to, we're connecting the dots here across the globe. We got callers in from Australia, India, the United States, from all over the place that are we're trying to make sense of what's going on, but we're having a really tough time connecting the dots because they're pulling us from one way, they're telling us something else. We're trying to keep our moral compasses in check so we could keep our sanity, right? Because I think once you don't know which way north is anymore, I think you start losing it.
Oh, that's for sure. That is exactly what the biggest fight is about. That is for sure where they hit people first. Right? That's people were hit there a long time ago first. Yeah, that's all by design. Disintegrating society. Families, having people resort to their lowest form, pretty much your lowest form, right? Because we have a higher form and it's actually the best. It really is the best. It's the best way that we're made, but people don't really get to explore that because the lowest form is presented on a plate. And it's so easy. And then commercials say, hey, look this way, be this way, look what you do, shake your booty, all that stuff. And totally disintegrates society. And then people are very miserable and wonder why. And it's because they never really had the chance to explore how really it is when you do the other part that we're truly designed for. They just wouldn't know. And it's more energetic too. It is able to reach more energetic levels and it's superior. And who would know? And then the more they try and take the bait, then the shittier you feel, but you're not putting two and two together. So, it's just a cycle of shit. And then easily fooled. Oh my goodness. Wow, people sure did hand over, not all. Like, see those farmers in India, they're awake.
Oh, yeah. 300,000 man protests, and it's been going on. I think they're going in their 20th or 30th week. You got the protests in Hong Kong that are not being covered anymore, and they're going into like 70, 80 weeks. And you got the one in France, 90 weeks now. Since the summer of 2019, they were going on.
Well, the French get it because they threw their royalty out long ago. Like they remember.
Let the heads roll.
Yeah, pardon?
Let the heads roll.
Oh yeah, they do. They get that. And then who else? I mean, Hong Kong. Like, look what they had just to go through with, being taken over by China. Yeah, they don't want to live that way. They know what they know. And then, and India sure knows because they had a hard time with Monsanto over there. They did. Yep. And it took a lot to try to get some power back, because Monsanto came in, and you know that's Gates too, but they come in and trick them, right? And then next thing you know, they're losing their land, and then their land was left infertile. Like, what leaves land infertile? That can't be good. And so, but they did a lot of repair, and have been trying to come back. They kind of know what's up. I mean, maybe not everyone, but good for them. The more people know, the better. You can fight back better, or just make your decisions. Like those vaccines, like that's the precursor. That's genetic engineering. I mean, I see people take them all the time. It's crazy. The other day, a client of mine was like, "Oh yeah, I took the vaccine. I got my first shot. I'm going to get my second shot. I can't wait to get out of here. I need a holiday so bad." I'm like, "Really? You're going somewhere? Where are you going?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. But, like our borders are closed. Where do you think you're going?" People think, and I hear it a lot, they're taking vaccines saying, "I'm going to get out of here." You are? Where? How? Now? Why are you taking a vaccine now for maybe you're somehow getting out of here like next winter? Are you sure about that? Like, how easy it is to fool some people. That's as easy as it is. I'm not too worried, because I think they're going to get they get so many people that just line up. I mean, they don't have to force. They can't force. They can't force anyway. But they scare you with thinking you can, but they can't. So they don't need to,
We got somebody messaging me saying, I said, Mike, CNN went live earlier on YouTube, and they had less than 146 people watching live, and you have over 200 on Mike in the Night.
Yeah,
Wow.
fun.
That's crazy, and we're heavily censored. I'm hoping to get to 14,000 subscribers by Christmas. I'm like 40 away, or 50 subscribers away.
Oh, wow.
I usually get 8 subscribers per month. So hopefully by Christmas I could be at 14,000. So, yeah.
Is that a record for you?
Well, I've lost more subscribers than I've gained.
Ah, yes.
It's weird how the YouTube algorithm has me in this really like at the bottom of the basement. So they keep us on here for some weird reason, but they don't want us here, but they keep us here for a reason, right?
Yeah, it's really a lot of weird. It's weird, and it's meant to be weird, right? Because when you're mind controlling people, you do need to mix everything upside down so there's confusion, and then it breaks the will of the people. It just breaks your will. And the more broken will you are, like you were saying, right, about that spirit. So this is why you need to be strong in spirit. I mean,
did you see that last video I sent you about that?
Which one again?
Part 3.
I did. I've seen them.
Did you see the part 3 video of that? They made a part 3 last week of that series.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
They made a part 3 of that. That was a really good one. So.
Yeah, because that's what I mean, strengthening our spirit, and it's not in the head, and it's not a belief. Because lately I've had some friends, like a lot of people are crumbling, and I can see why. But wow, people are crumbling a lot, and then saying like, "Oh, well, I believe in God," and it's like, that's good, but believing in God, that doesn't really do anything. You got to work it. You have to know what the word is and apply it and remember it. And because it's not just, "Oh, I believe in God. Isn't that great? I'm going to have a great life." It's not that. It's working it. What does it say? What do the Holy Scriptures say to do? Right. And then it's funny how it'll work.
Hold on. I want to thank Blunt News. He sent me the video. I played the video earlier, Blunt, earlier with Eduardo in the truck. If he sent me something else, I'll play it in a little bit. I also have Mr. Mitch Sott saying he's seeing orbs. Mitch, if you get Skype, he's saying there's little orbs everywhere outside his window. So if you want to get Skype and come on live and show us these little orbs outside your window. And also, let me tell you something, Lenny, that I think I'm starting to come. I'm starting to understand something. Okay. Do you know how you brought up something a few months back on the show that when humans when we're born and we're conceived and we're going through life, we are programmed to know that there is some sort of a God or a higher state. Like, we're programmed in us to know that
Yeah.
there's some sort of higher state of
Mhm.
naturally. So let's say they wiped us all and we all started over we're all brainwashed. We're starting, the next generation will be born and you'll start seeing religions pop up because they believe, like, I was born with this idea that there's some higher state of a creator or something, that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm thinking is, okay, the Holy Scriptures, all that stuff, I think they wanted to preserve that information because I think it was a lot stronger, or the understanding of our existence was a lot more stronger several thousand years ago. But they decided to preserve it in scriptures for people in the future who may lose that ability to understand that. They could read it and understand that everyone has it in them. But I think over time, over the couple of thousand years, we started losing that, and we started becoming more, what do you call it? Materialistic. And we started forgetting the little things in life. You know, is that possible that back in the day, let's say our sense of spirituality, or a sense of a higher state of spirituality, was a lot stronger back, and now it's been diminishing over the last couple of centuries? Is it possible?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the last couple of centuries, but even just in our own lifetime, look what's happened. Look
Right.
how it's not taught anywhere. Where is it taught? I was taught in school and at home because I happen to come from that. All my family was like that. Luckily, it wasn't. It was real too. It's actually real. They had hardships in life. Do you know? I've gone to houses because we're on the prairies here.
Mhm.
So let's say years ago, so many people had farms, and you know how many homesteads I've gone to, like Ukrainians and people who came from other countries and came here and had to survive in the freezing cold. Remember, they're like, "What the hell?" They're trying to survive. They didn't have to live through this. You know, they were helped and really faced hardships to get a life going here, and then kind of mastered it and had great lives. But I can't believe how many crosses and Jesus pictures, all in their own nationalities, though, but they had. And I thought, these people came because they had hardships and they turned to that. They turned to that and had, you know, it gave strength. Um, so it does give strength, and then that's why it's eroded. It's eroded um, because we are definitely designed to know God and to be like, it's not just to know, it's to have a relationship. So you talk, you ask, you
You know,
talk.
can I tell
Have a
you?
relationship with someone.
Can I tell you
Pardon?
where that is?
Where?
That programming. You know that junk DNA they found in humans that they can't decipher.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry. It's there.
That's the
We have
story.
genes.
That's our story. That's
Yeah.
our God. That piece of that chunk of DNA that they call junk DNA that they have no idea from. That's, if you actually translate that, or in 100 years or 1,000 years, they'll translate that and they'll see that was our story of who we are, where we came from, and everything. And I don't think we will decipher this anytime soon, because I don't think we deserve it at the rate we're going.
They know that. They call it the God gene. That's just one. That is a known thing because we're made to know. Because if you tell kids, they do gravitate. And I mean, you only have your personal testimony. So I know firsthand, and I know other people firsthand. So it's a firsthand thing. And then it's not like we don't hear what the world says and don't think, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm not an idiot. I know that that's fake. Hey, we all have heads. We all have brains. But it's not about what you can figure out. It is there, and it is being in touch, and that has been eroded. And plus they put these senses in, and it's like, here's what will fill that hole, because it's in us, right? There, it has to be filled with that. And if it's not filled with the Holy Spirit, it's because it's like it's hollow. And then they're like, here, fill it with this, fill it with that distraction, and your lowest self too. So it's very sexualized because that's your lowest form, especially when it's bodily only, right? So and it's very, all these things that lure you are because they're good for a season. But then when the season's over, it's crash, right? Because if it wasn't good for a season, no one would do it. So it obviously is, and it does all your brain neurons, but it's not a sustaining thing.
Right.
And so you need the sustenance. And if you do it, you will see what the true sustenance is. And it requires knowledge and digging in and learning about the nature of God. Like, right? What is the nature? And you'll know, because you just know. I mean, you can tell. You know, if you're centered, and a lot of kids didn't really get that, so they've never practiced it. Some people used to say that I was probably programmed that way, but do you know how many people I have met, grown women, who were not raised with any kind of religion? None, my age. Tons I have met. And they really helped me feel good because they turned that way. And I was like, really? How? Like, how would you say that? And they tried all kinds of mysticism and the universe and all that, and then came to Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the holy book. And it was like, that is crazy. Like, they never went to church. Their parents were not religious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's them telling me. And I'm like, that's funny. And then they tell their story of how they figured it out. And they had that hole. And they did have good families too. Like, I know one girl, she comes from like this great family. It's not that. So that helped me feel good, because then I thought, see, it's not really just that. And they they kind of envy me, thinking, gee, you're always like that. But no, there's full circles, and it's always a struggle. This earth is a struggle, and it's meant to take us off course. Yeah, because above all governments are the ones who rule the governments. That's for sure. And all those leaders and all that news that says, oh, Russia is going to maybe, pair with them, and they're going to be friends, and then they're going to argue. And hey, like, these government guys like Putin and all that, those guys do not wonder, gee, what will I tell the people? They don't think about nothing like that. They have a script. It's handed them. They get in front of the TV. They read their script. They're told what to say. They have scripts. They don't wonder and then, trade their goods, because above are people who control. So they're like, okay, you're going to be the country that has the petrodollar and the arms. And then you're going to be the country, because they kind of looked at how they were anyway. You have to work with them, just like in the days of old. How did the people feel? Gauge,
mm-hmm.
right? Because you don't want revolt, because revolt, that ends it. It has to be slow, and it has to be,
drawn out.
Yeah, that's always been until they get all that stuff in you. Oh yeah. When that stuff's in you, that's game over. Now they don't care what you think. You're going to think, oh yeah. You're going to think what they tell you to think. And you're going to be very plugged in. And like you said, with even, they have the patents to this now. Like, even your own monetary, like everything is just hooked up. There's no hiding. You'll be on rations. Yeah. I mean, some people might think that's not bad. That way, it knows what to do and what I should eat. I mean, fine. But a human being, see, here's the thing. We are free moral agents. We have free moral agency, and that's part of the laws. These guys think they're going to control us. There's laws above that. And they know it, because they serve the dark side. So they know all about the laws. They do. And they have to follow in the laws. They know that truly you need informed consent to form a contract. And in a way, they're making contracts with people. So they know.
I see what you're saying. I see how you're wording this out. I know what the contracts will seal the contract with the jab.
Well, not the jab. Like,
no, I know
yeah,
what you're saying, but
anything that's entered. Yeah, if you take that, or if you agree, there's informed consent. That's why they even put it out there. And they won't realize, if you don't realize the big picture.
Yeah.
There's a bigger picture out there, and some people will just be lost in battle because they just don't see it. So what can you do? But that is what's at stake. So, and every day is a good day worth living. Every day. That's the secret of it. That's the secret, is there's no good day to wait for. Today's the day. Mm-hmm. This is the day.
Live it now, be it now, enjoy it now.
rejoice and be glad in it. And if there's a time to fight, go ahead and fight. You know how many armies there were in the olden day, because we're French, and the French were kind of thought crazy, the French Canadians, because they used to sing into battle. They would gather together and sing together and go forward as brothers. That's how they approached it. Fearless, rejoicing. If you're going to fight, then fight, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you. That just brought some memories in my mind. All right, Lenny, I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to talk to us and kind of inform us on those articles. And we'll talk soon. We'll have you on in the next week or so, and we'll talk soon. And keep sending me the articles. I keep reading them, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
All right, you bet.
God bless you.
Okay. Yeah, bless you too. Bye.
So, the guys, that is Lenny Poo there in the green room, and bringing us this vital information. I'm going to bring it back up for you guys here. So this is coming from the Government of Canada's website, from the government website, how they're going to be exploring biodigital convergence between humans and technology, and how they're going to be doing all this stuff and creating this stuff. So you could pause the screen right there if you want to read this. And it goes into a lot of stuff and what they're trying to... I don't know why they're pushing. I guess they want to think... I don't even... I'm not going to get into this. It's so depressing. It's so depressing getting into this, some of this stuff right now, and what they're... What are they doing? What are they... What's the... What's the end game? Oh my God, we got a whole 54 minutes. Let's do a quick channel plug. We'll get our next caller on. Here is, in case you forgot what he looked like, Mr. Mobility here, Doug Ford. That's Mr. Mobility. Just wanted to throw a photo of him up here. I got it open here. Might as well kind of show you guys Mr. Mobility there. All right, what's going on? Hold on. Let's go to channel plug. So Kevin J. Johnson got arrested. I'm going to see if I could find him on Skype and call him. I don't know if he's still in jail. Kevin, there he is. He's in my favorites. Let's see if I could get... Let's see if he picks up the phone. Oh, he sent me something on Instagram. People that don't know, Kevin J. Johnson is running for mayor of the city of Calgary. And... I don't know what time it is in... Oh, it's an hour ahead. So right now it's like 10 o'clock in Alberta. And I'm trying to connect to him. It looks like his Skype is turned off. Let me see. Yo, wake up. All right. I'm just going to timestamp this so he knows I'm trying to message him here. And, yeah, he's in jail right now. So we're going to try and figure out what is going on there. Okay, guys, quick channel plug here, guys, and I appreciate all the support. Guys, again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to... I'm at 13,920 some odd subscribers. I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by Christmas, so that's about 6 months from now, so I'm hoping to get 10 subscribers on usual. Usually I get 10 subscribers per month, so I'm trying to get to 14,000 by Christmas. Guys, don't forget to message me here on Skype. It looks like your messages on Skype actually come through. So go ahead and message me on Skype. Guys, don't forget to buy something on Teespring. The I Love Amerifornia shirts and wife beaters are here. And they look really good. Really good stuff. Don't forget to set your reminders for next Wednesday's show. More BS markets. And next... Mike in the Night's going to be an important one. We're going to be discussing the confidence in local governments are dropping. So I'm going to leave a link right now if you guys want to set your reminders for next week's show. We're going to be discussing the confidence in local governments. People are losing confidence in their local governments. Sorry. Artbydano.com. Don't forget to check out artbydano.com. Not your typical art. Lots of bundle packs. Lots of cool stuff from our local, well, he's not local to us, but he's local to our community here on Mike in the Night, artbydano.com. Check it out, not your typical art. Guys, don't forget to donate to Lord Humongous Amerifornia trip. He's going to do a Mike in the Night Amerifornia tour 2021. We should get him down to Arizona so we could see Morgan. You see Morgan down in Arizona, who also makes videos for us. So Mike in the Night Amerifornia tour. It's gonna go 2021, 2022. We're gonna extend this so he could raise some money to go with his van across America. So I'm gonna donate every week. So if you guys can, we got Margie donated. A couple other people here donating. Please donate to the cause. And music by Ralphie.co.New Zealand, where you could hear replays of Mike in the Night. And he's already raised a few dollars here because this actually costs money. And this is based out of New Zealand, where you get New Zealand music. And New Zealand, this is what's playing right now, if you want to hear. And the replay of Mike in the Night comes on usually a couple of hours after the show or the next day in the northern western hemisphere here. All right, so Mike in the Night. I hope everyone's doing well out there. Hashtag Mike in the Night. So Jeff Salcero saying, come to Arizona. Yeah, so we could it would be nice to connect Lord Humongous with other. We got Jeff Salcero saying, come to Arizona. We got other people in different parts of America that Lord Humongous could meet up with and potentially get shown around of where things are happening and what's going down. So what's going on? I think Mike likes being bright and energetic. I hope so. Saturday Night Live was good looks at like the world today. Idiocy. Yeah, that's actually true. Somebody made a comparison to the Saturday Night Live early episodes to what we're seeing now today, and yeah. Yeah, we'll map out locations. Lord Humongous is going to do this cross, so he's going to be making videos on his channel with preparation, so if you guys want to support him, and go ahead and I'll be sending him a donation every week to get this off the ground. Get him enough gas money. You know what I'm saying? Woo, woo, woo. Get him enough gas money to get him around and start to, get things rolling here. Always look on the bright side of life, says Haran Musa. That's correct. Always look at the bright side because they always want you looking into fear, right? And that's why we're here. We're here to talk each other through it. I don't know where Layla is. Kevin J. Johnson is not answering his Skype right now. He is in jail right now in a Calgary prison. I'm not sure, or in a holding area in one of the police stations. I'm not sure which one. Okay, let's see who we got here. Supreme Cannon I want to get on because I haven't had him on in a while because his internet's been like all over the place. Let's get Supreme Cannon on for a bit. I want to hear what he has to say about the ongoing problems we're having. People have been asking for Dominic to come back. We'll get Dominic Merlo back in a week or two when he has time. I'm going to contact Uneducated Economist. I think I'm going to go, once they reopen, I think I'm going to go down to Oregon to visit him. Maybe make some videos together and talk about, what's going on there with Amerifornia. So we got Alan in the comments who's saying that he's seeing some orbs outside his window. So if Al, where is he? If he could get his Skype running and show us a live video feed of where he's at, it's probably somewhere in America. If he could give us a little bit of, information on what he's seeing out there live, that'll be really nice. Let me see if there's someone trying to add me on Skype. Like, Skype is going through. No, I got some people here. I think you should create yourself. Guys, I want to create a, one of those chat box thingies. What do you call it? Discord? But I heard everyone saying Discord is being heavily censored. So I don't know about Discord. I don't know, man. All right, let's see if Supreme Cannon picks up his phone. I'm not sure where Layla is. To give us a little insight on the Middle East. Yo, Supremo.
Michael, how are things?
Good. What are you up to?
Sitting here facing east, sir. Hang on a second. I gotta mute this.
Mike in the night.
Mike in the night. Here we are once again. See how long this connection holds together. It's dropped on me once already tonight.
Oh, sorry.
It's groovy. It's okay. Good to hear your voice, man.
Good to hear you. Weather's getting good, so hope me get some time to come out and visit me. So, okay, you know the lumber industry better than anyone on this channel. What's going on with the lumber industry? Can you give us an update on this shortage?
Oh boy, there's all kinds of theories. We've never been busier. Well, I'm out of it now. Long story. I'll talk about it when I come see you. But no, they're busy. They're busier than they've ever been. The mills are going hell bent for election. The reloads are full. I'm suspecting, if anything, either maybe some wholesalers are holding it back, trying to create an artificial shortage, because I'm seeing all kinds of people saying their local lumber yards are stacked to the rafters.
They are.
Reloads.
All the lumber yards here are overstacked.
Yeah, that's right. So the price is driving higher production, obviously, but they don't seem to be actually buying it, or moving it fast enough. So obviously there's going to be supply chain issues, right? You got all those ships lined up in San Diego. You had a bunch of river barges that were stalled for a day because of a cracked bridge on the Mississippi, things like that. And all of these things are like a traffic jam, it just kind of starts at random, seemingly out of nowhere. You don't even necessarily need an accident or something to slow traffic down. It just kind of happens, right? It's just waves moving through a fluid or something. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we're going to see. I don't think we were affected so much directly by that Suez Canal blockage for a week, but there's probably follow-on effects of that. I mean, we've been talking about it for quite a while now. Mm-hmm. I just think there's priority being given to certain materials to be transported for production of goods and moving stuff to retail and whatever, and lumber just is a big item, and it's getting backlogged. And it's probably going to get worse as long as the price stays so high. Now, what that's going to do to the housing market is prices are red hot and they're going up ridiculous amounts, bidding wars again and all that. But it's starting to top out already, because lumber at that price is adding, I think in the average in the States, a new house is $35,000 per unit. It's added to the price of building a house out of lumber.
And so while in America their homes go up $35,000, we're selling 2-bedroom condos in the Victoria Island there for $1 million over asking.
Yeah, it's absolutely ludicrous. But the thing is usually with supply and demand, right? A high price signals higher production. But that price, if it doesn't necessarily reflect higher demand, mm-hmm. just a lot of people want to park big money, so it's bidding the price up, or at least putting a floor under it so it can't go to a rational level. Like, there's whole segments of the Canadian population that are what we would call middle class. They don't have a hope in hell of buying They don't have a hope of
middle class. What is that?
Yeah, middle class. What is that?
What was that?
Well, middle class nowadays isn't smaller entrepreneurs and professionals accumulating wealth. It's just how big of payments can you afford to make on the debt that you're servicing, right? That's your credit ratings needs to be more important than your actual assets versus liabilities anymore. The whole thing is detached from reality in a lot of ways.
Anthony, thank you for the $5. Anthony is one of our biggest contributors here on Mike in the Night. Another $5. Papa Pist is saying salaries are also rising fast to entice people. They're having a tough time finding private sector workers, buddy.
Well, I mean, they're making more sitting on unemployment and getting up here, getting the Justin Bucks, and down there getting the triple P or whatever the benefits are. They've got the stimmies, as it were. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like much, $1,400 or $2,800, but that's per person. So if you got a bunch of people in your household,
that's a party and a half.
That's a party and a half, you bet. And people, it's a lot of pent up consumption demand. But what we're going to see is they're going to have to keep it going, because you've got this huge surge in retail right now because people are out spending this money. Okay, but as soon as it's out again, then they got to go back to work. So as long as the stimmies are rolling out the door, a lot of small businesses and bigger ones can't find workers, because right now they're just better off at home. They're getting this government cheese, and they pay no taxes on it, right? They don't have to pay any fees on it. It just comes to them and they go spend it, or they just sit on their couch and watch the world go by. And you know what? Considering how badly we've been exploited for so long, I don't blame people for feeling that way. To me, it's almost like a lot of them thinking, you know what, I'm taking a vacation from this BS for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't blame them, because everyone has been feeling the squeeze for so long, getting more labor out of you or undercutting your wages with, all this migrant labor, and making it plain that they expect you to run on that hamster wheel until the bearings start smoking. And
yeah. Supreme? Hello? Supreme? Hello? Supreme? Hello? I think we lost Supreme Canada, guys, again. Hold on, he's back. Hello? Supreme? We lost Supreme Cannon. I hope he's okay. We'll give it a few seconds here. Haron Musa saying, I remember the teacher was mad at me because I thought Mad Max was a good movie. Now I know that's Trump degenerate syndrome behavior for its time. Are we talking about the original Mad Max movie? Because that was really good. Moonlight saying, wealth is just a word that people use to hustle us. Supreme, you there? Now it's saying I have a missed call. Let's see if we get him here. Man down.
Hi again. How you doing?
Man down. You there?
I'm here.
Okay. Let's go into the first one here. Policy Horizons Canada. I got this email. Lenny Poo's been sending it around. And I actually took notice of it because Lenny Poo sent it to me. And it says here, exploring biodigital convergence. And this is from the Government of Canada. That's actually promoting or discussing or informing us. I got this via email. This thing that they're doing that change human beings, our bodies, minds, and behaviors, change or create our organisms, alter ecosystems, sense, store, process, and transmit information, manage biological innovation, structure, and manage production and supply chains. Dude, what the heck is going on, and why is our government sending us this? Supreme? I think we lost Supreme Canada again. Yeah, his internet has been very, he told me his internet's been very off the hook lately. Let's see if he picks up. Let me see if I could call him just audio only. Yeah, Road Warrior was a good movie too. So today's Mike in the Night, We Want Your Soul actually ties in perfectly to what is happening here. I can't believe the Government of Canada will send this out and just tell people, by the way, we're going to be merging technology with biology, and you're going to really not have a choice about it, right? Okay, he's not picking up. Damn. I hope he's okay. His internet is kind of all over the place the last couple of weeks. And, Layla's on now. Let me see if she picks up. No. Hello? Bill C-10 in action! Layla's not picking up either. So, she is online, though. She is active, and she has some very vital information she wants to share with us. She is in the Middle East. She's in Egypt. And it's kind of good to get some, somebody that's closer to where the action is happening there in the Middle East. Come on, pick up, Layla. Wow. All right, she's not picking up. And everybody's internet is not like 100% right now. I don't know if this is done on purpose or I don't know. I'm not going to look too deep into that. Okay, Supreme Cannon. Supreme, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
Okay, we lost you there.
Yeah, so, we'll run as fast as we can here.
Okay, exploring bio-digital convergence. What the hell is happening, and why is the government putting this on their website?
I think it's a trial balloon. I think they're just putting it out there to say, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is progress, and this is a great thing, and isn't this fantastic? It's like every other thing that they intend to do. It was mentioned on there, transhumanism, that kind of a thing. right? Like when it comes to making things like artificial ears and artificial eyes, that sounds real good. But when you want to modify the human mind and make us all tractable, even sources of energy, like a battery for the Matrix kind of idea, you put a nice, pretty faced lady on there as the director of the program, and it's all benign, and it's just going to be great, and it's all going to be a big kumbaya rainbow cookie collective world, right?
They
brutal.
openly say they want to change human beings and our bodies and minds and behaviors.
That's right. Yeah, they got to come right out and say it. That's part of the conditions of, at least in their mind, rulership of the world, is they have to tell you what they're going to do. Everybody kind of knows that. Predictive programming. Well, they're coming right out and saying it. This technology has become a god of its own, right? The worship of technology is going to solve every problem and all the rest of it. We have smartphones, therefore our problems are over. And which is nonsense, but what are you going to do, right?
Yeah, because I'm very disturbed by this, and especially when they're like, Lenny Poo sent this to me, but I got it in my email too from the government of Canada, whatever. I don't even subscribe to it, but I received it, and I kind of ignored it, and then Lenny Poo sent it to me via Instagram, and I'm like, wait a minute, I remember this thing. So I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is what they're doing now.
You mean like with this biodigital convergence
Yes.
idea? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you look back to just before Trump's election in 2016, like National Geographic, of all publications, rolled out something called the Transgender Revolution, and they had to look like some young, boy in a dress leaning on the cover. It's like, have you guys absolutely lost your marbles?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got to be kidding. What is this? And from there, it went directly into debating about, okay, which gender is going to have to supply the extra bathroom.
Yeah, fighting over bathrooms and stuff. Yeah,
fighting over the bathrooms. That's right. It's just
bathroom
madness,
wars.
Right? But that's that upending, that's inversion of what's normal, and trying to scramble our minds. Lenny was talking about it. People in the chats were talking about it, and that's exactly what it is. They're just trying to scramble your perceptions as much as possible.
Those bathroom wars were before the toilet paper wars, right? So.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Then we had the toilet paper wars, and then we had all kinds of wars, right? So
the toilet paper wars. There are probably still people trying to auction off pallets of number 2 tickets from that. That was the most bizarre panic I've ever seen. I can't imagine why that happened, but I have a feeling the reason was pretty basic.
Okay. Now, this is the other one I wanted to talk to you about. Genetically engineered magnetoprotein remotely controls the brain and behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's not controversial or frightening at all, is it? I don't know why they keep rolling this stuff out. I guess they want a certain percentage of the demographic to think this is a great idea and sign up for it.
But this makes zero sense when everyone, like people in America, are starving.
Well, people in America are starving, yeah, but technology, dude. Technology. We've got technology now. The world's good. The wars are over. Prosperity is permanent. Things are just going to get better and better, dude, because we have smartphones. We got smartphones, dude. It's over. History is over. We got smartphones.
Wow.
That's how people think. What are you going to do? That's how they think.
This is crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I heard of a study like using this magneto theory or this magneto thing to actually make people forget about God or forget about. I heard about this, and I heard it on Coast to Coast Radio with George Norrie was talking about it, and it was an article he was reading how they're looking to wipe people's mind of the belief in God. Hello? Oh my God, we lost him again. We lost Supreme Cannon again. His internet's down. He's having internet issues. It happens. It happens, guys. It happens to the best of us. Wow. All right. Let me see here who we could call. Who's available? Like I'm getting like a lot of mixed signals here. We had Ralphie in the comments earlier. He disappeared. It is a 3-hour show, so I don't blame people for dropping in and out from time to time. And I'm really trying to get, I really want to get Layla on the show, but she's not picking up her phone. I I know it's like 5 in the morning there.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, Layla, how you doing? It's so good to have you on.
Thank you. Good, good. Yeah.
I want to have you on because obviously you know why I want you on is well, you know why. It's because what is happening, and can you give us your Middle East kind of synopsis of what's going on the ground?
A lot happened in just a few days. But the nicest part is Israel bombing the AP building.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch that?
Yes, I did catch that. So can you explain that to us?
Well, I guess they don't want the news to get out. So they just bombed the building. No issues there,
The Associated Press?
There's AP, Al Jazeera, and others in that building. So it was
Okay,
like
so that's where Press TV and all those guys are.
I don't know about Press TV.
I know that they have a small office in there that they report from.
Well, it seems like a building with several news agencies that
That's
are,
right.
housed in there. So they just bombed the whole thing, Did you see the videos?
Yeah, I saw the videos of the buildings crashing. I saw everyone pretty much saw that. It was all over. It was circulating all over the mainstream media. And a lot of countries are going against it and going against the. So can you kind of break down? I know it's for control. I know we get the basics of it, but what's underlying here?
So I give this a year, and Israel will be dissolved. It started off before Eid, close to Eid. The folks, they pray in the Aqsa Mosque, and every year there's an issue around that because Israel doesn't let the Muslims pray in the mosque, and also they prevent Christians from praying in certain places as well. So that escalated, like they were screwing around this year, and they thought they were gonna, they're gonna go inside the mosque and rub it in Muslims' faces and things like that. So that little thing here escalated. It completely went out of hand.
Are we talking
right
about the
now,
Mosque of the Dome of the Rock?
Yeah, I don't know if that's what you call it in English, Mike. I'm not sure. It's the Aqsa Mosque.
That's the main one, right?
The main one for Muslims. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's the same thing as what you guys talk about in the Bible, I guess. Anyway. Yeah. So it went out of hand, and fights broke out, and then it turned into a full-scale war. So people are telling you like a crisis and civil. No. It's a war. It's a full-scale war.
It's a full war, and it looks like it looks like that Israel has boots on the ground.
Which ground?
In Palestine.
Well, I mean, they've been there for 80 years.
No. I'm talking about they're going into the uncontested territories.
All the time.
The walls. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. There were peacekeeping in there for that time, right?
No, they don't peacekeep. They cause war, genocide, and ethnic cleansing. So that escalated, and they're targeting mainly Gaza because this is where a lot of Palestinians keep their live, first of all, but also it's where a lot of militias are housed. So they targeted a few people, and but Palestinians took back a town, Lid. They targeted the Ben Gurion airport. So 130 rockets, I think, were fired in about 5 minutes in Ben Gurion, and they're targeting the Ramon airport right now. And a whole town was taken back, and Tel Aviv, of course. So they targeted Tel Aviv, and a lot of places have been.
Here's the article.
Like a lot of. Well, there's many.
The one you're talking about.
About which?
Gaza bombardment. Israeli minister seeks Facebook and TikTok blackout. So there's that building that was taken out that basically housed a lot of the media from that area. The reason why I said you have the Gaza Strip there is because obviously parts are walled off, right? And
Yeah, that's old though.
okay.
That's not new.
No. I understand that, but I'm saying, but Israeli troops are in the ground in Gaza too. I always thought they left them alone there.
Oh no. They've been taking settlements. They've been
Right,
they've been
the Golan Heights and all that places, right?
no, that's in Syria, but I mean in Gaza itself, they were advancing inside Gaza. Like some parts of Gaza were starting to be removed. Like they're always like creeping into places, and in the process, they just move people out of their homes and they take the land. So that's been going on recently, actually, as well, before all this.
So can you expand on Israel being dissolved in the next year?
So it's a full-scale war right now, and like Israel has, it's like it has no business being there in terms of like I know that people have a biblical tale around all of this. But the fact is that Russians, Americans, Germans, and Ethiopians, and the whole, because the Jews in Israel right now, they come from everywhere, and so what they do in the process is they ethnic cleanse Palestinians. There's a lot of genocides committed on Palestinians, and they just move them out and sit there. So they have no business being there, these people. I mean, a lot of the people who were there, they have dual citizens. They just left. That like people were all over the airports and leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 80 years that Palestinians and actually all of the Arab world are struggling because of this. And at this point, I don't see them backing out. And, they're definitely going to use this to kick them out.
Mm-hmm.
And so there in Palestine, there are several militias.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them said that this is not going to stop, even though there are like I think the Western media is trying to make it sound like there's like a peace kind of thing. That's a lie. They're not stopping. So one of the guys, Abu Ubaida, one guy in Gaza, he's like, you either leave or you die. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. He gave out the warning, and Syria apparently fired rockets. So some rockets were fired out of Syria, according to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And people, just like normal people, normal Palestinians, they are walking across the borders from Jordan into Palestine. They walked, and
Mm-hmm.
from South Lebanon into Israel. So Syria, Iran, Yemen, and Hezbollah, they're all on standby. And I think Hezbollah is already active. It's possible that Syria is already active. And I don't think Iran is officially active yet, but this entire axis is on standby.
Speaking of active or non-active, your friend is on the news here. Erdogan is saying terrorist state Israel must be stopped. Turkish President Erdogan says adding it has crossed all limits.
Well, Erdogan supports Israel, and all of Turkey supports Israel, so that's a sham. Turkey is not. You can't trust Turkey on anything. No one trusts Turkey for anything, and they're just, they play on all strings, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
And so Turkey, forget Turkey. Turkey's in bed with Israel. That's just a lie. They're just BS. That's just BS. You can forget Turkey.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to throw that in because I know you're good friends with Erdogan and stuff.
No,
I'm being sarcastic.
No, I'm not. Turkey trains ISIS, and recently the Uyghur went by Turkey, and they're on their way to Europe now. Oh, okay. Everyone's feeling sorry for the Uyghur. The ISIS folks, they recruit from peoples like the Uyghur. So.
Wow. And I know Turkey was expanding its borders.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're dreaming of the Ottoman Empire right now.
Yeah, that's not going to fly.
No, a bit like
just like Mussolini. Thing. Mussolini was dreaming of the Roman Empire, reuniting it during World War II.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Ambitions,
Mm-hmm. Ambitions is good. All right, so we got here, what is it? Sleepy Biden is making phone calls to the Palestinian president and the Netanyahu. So correct me if I'm wrong, there was a mock election or a Mickey Mouse election that didn't really go well for Netanyahu, and they're trying to cover it up. Could this be this whole thing trying to unite Israel under one banner because of this last election that was potentially fraudulent?
So the Israel-Palestinian issues goes way beyond
Right.
Netanyahu, but a lot of people are criticizing him for the way he behaved this time around. And Lieberman, who was the previous defense minister, or is he still? He's really annoyed with Netanyahu because Lieberman sees that they're going to lose the war to Hamas. And yeah, it's very it's possible. He's been trying to cover up a lot of things, and it's not working. And he has that trial. He's on trial for fraud and corruption. So, but it's not like, I can see his clowning a little bit, but the conflict is much older than his term. And he's the longest serving prime minister of Israel, by the way.
Really? Because it seems like he's running the show still.
Yeah, the longest serving prime minister in Israel. He's been around for a long time.
Mm. And apparently they've been arresting opposing parties in Israel and actually beaten them and illegally arresting opposing parliamentary parties that were against him.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. They're constantly arresting Orthodox Jews who talk against the state of Israel. There are lots of dissent against Israel. It's not just the Arabs, though it doesn't really matter. But I mean, they were forcing Orthodox Jews to join the military, and that's really against their faith and their ways. Yeah, I mean, he's just it's a bit of a clown show right now with Netanyahu, but it always has been. Like, Israel has never been solid inside, because it's just they're just a mishmash of people from all over the world. They pay people to move there.
Yes, they do. They actually pay people to relocate to occupy the territory, right?
Yeah, they do.
So I'm concerned, because this. Do you see this escalating to a full scale, like getting other countries in? Okay, yeah, it is a war. It is a hot war. Yes, there are a lot of people dying. I think there's a lot more happening than what the media is allowed to tell us. Now, let me ask you: do you see this becoming like where other countries start rolling in?
So I definitely see Syria, Iran, possibly Yemen get involved. Definitely Hezbollah, if you want to call that part of a country, because Hezbollah is based in Lebanon. I think Hezbollah is already involved. They've always had ground in Israel.
They've had intelligence there, yes.
No, they actually go to war. They do operations there. Like, before all of this was happening, there were several bombings at the Haifa port.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
South on the southern part, and some military action. And that was in response to, remember, the Beirut bombing and the Beirut port bombing and all of that. So all of that was already, was happening. So it's possible that this is a further escalation, and they were timing everything. There is a prophecy that's been flying around for a while within Muslims, a prophecy that was actually issued by a Jewish woman long time ago. And, Muslims don't buy these prophecies. Like, it has to be based on the Quran. But there's this guy, he pulls it out. Like, it would be great if you understood and were able to listen to that, because sometimes it's really interesting. He pulls it out, and it's like unbelievable how he pulls it out of the Quran. And so it's 2022. So 2022 is like a turning point for Israel, and a lot of people believe in the dissolution of Israel. A lot of people don't believe in a lot of Muslim scholars and the prophecy people, they don't believe in being able to time things like that. They go with the sequence of events, but this one sort of stuck, and they could be on time. But I don't care for prophecy. I listen to it because people follow it, not because it's real or anything like that. But it has a lot of impact, this one, and I think they could be on time. So I give this situation a year, and I really see Israel dissolving. They're not going to turn back. I don't want them to turn back personally. It'd be really stupid to waste such an opportunity to kick out and dissolve Israel at this point. Mm-hmm. And to just get them out. Let's get them out of our lands. We're so sick of them. Everyone's so sick of them. The whole world is sick of them. Trump was sick of them. Biden is not interested. It's like, just move on. It's such a failed idea, failed state, failed everything.
It's kind of funny, like how things play out, and how there's so many different angles of history from different perspectives and different cultures. Like, I've seen the point of view from the historical side, from the Muslim side, because my ex-wife was Muslim, and I saw that part of history from their end, and then I saw the history from my culture, the Portuguese culture, and I saw that point of history, and kind of piecing it together from all, like, an English side of history and how they portray in this and the colonization and blah blah blah, and seeing it from all the different perspectives that I have seen. It's so hard to figure anything out, because it's every side for itself in a way. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's too hard. Russians, Americans, Europeans have no business in the Middle East. Like,
oh no, I
people
totally
wanna
understand that.
You know what I mean? Like, because people are like with their religion thing, and it's like the reason Muslims aren't going to win is not because of their prophecy and their religion. It's because they're on the right side of reason. It's like, it's total. It's just like, Judaism is a religion. It's not a nationality. It's not even an ethnicity. Israel actually genetically tests people for, like, their for their roots. It's crazy. Like, if you think about
Nazis
it, it's like,
were doing that.
Nazis. Yeah, the Nazis were measuring heads and things like that.
Yeah.
Now they're genetically testing. So it's like, like, to me, I think it's pretty black and white. You should see the protests all over the world,
I'm seeing the ones in Germany. I'm seeing the ones, the pro-Palestinian protests in Germany. There was one in Spain. There was a couple in the United States, but you don't see that too much.
They were stopping them in Paris, and they didn't stop them for long, but they had blocked all protests in Paris and in some other places. But in the Arab world, for example, they're all over the streets. In Jordan is like a complete, because there are a lot of Palestinians in Jordan, and a lot of people are up against their leaders, leaders who said they would make peace with Israel and things like that. Like, there are no Arabs who make peace with Israel. There's only these sellout leaders that are in place, by the US and by Israel, that get paid, type of thing. And they're the ones who sign peace process people. So after this phase, there's going to be quite a bit of cleansing, let's say, inside. So I suspect internal wars as well, not just the war against Israel, but there are, several Arab factions and these, like, sellout leaders, globalist leaders and things like that need to go as well. And that's also gonna be an episode.
Right. I wanted to ask, so if the Israeli state gets dissolved within a year, this is going to be somewhat detrimental to the United States, because they no longer have a secure foothold in the Middle East, but they still have Saudi Arabia. And how long before Saudi Arabia falls to? I think if Yemen gets armaments from China and maybe from Russia, I think the Yemenis will, because I think they could take the Saudis. The Saudis are a couple of families. They don't have a good military presence, so to say, in front of, like, other military powers.
Yeah, so it's mainly the US's military through the different bases that the US has in the region.
26.
They already lost the war to Yemen, and it would really be Iran who takes them out. But I don't think I would like a total war to sort of erase them off the map. This bunch here, Saudi, Qatar, UAE, these guys need to be wiped out. But I don't think it will happen that way. I think what will happen is they would just, they would agree to new terms. And the US has no business in the region anyway. And Trump had been trying to pull out troops since he got in. And then you had these, lunatics like John Bolton and Lindsey Graham who don't want these things to happen because they're like, they're hawkish, they're hotheads. They support Israel all the way. Their handlers are all Zionists and things like that. And Biden is continuing what Trump did, trying to pull out troops. And I don't think Biden is hot on Israel. I don't think Trump was until they started twisting his arms. And I don't think Biden is. I think it's really a failed project, and they're already pulling out troops. They lost in the region. They lost to Syria. They lost the Cold War with Iran. The Saudis and UAE, they lost against Yemen. So they continue to lose. So I'm not seeing that they have any business anymore. I think the project is going to fail. Israel is constantly pulling support out of the US. Like without the US, Israel can't really exist. And Netanyahu is on the phone with Biden telling him that he thinks that it's going to continue for a while. What he's basically saying is that, the Palestinians aren't going to stop, and they're not going to stop. They're going to bring them to their knees. I see this happening. And we don't want them to stop. We want this opportunity to be taken to the fullest, to absolutely dissolve Israel. It's time. We've had enough. Get out. And I think it's going to happen. And I don't think the U.S. is going to pull back. In the meantime, there's going to be big restructuring with China and Russia, and all of that is happening as well. So yeah, it's time for the U.S. also to pack up and to, go help out the people who are lining up for gas. All over,
governor there, Ron Paul, right? Ron Paul was saying, when he was trying to run for president, I think 2 terms ago, he was saying, "What the hell are we doing in the Middle East? What the heck are we doing there? Let's get these guys the hell out of there. We have no business being there." That's exactly what Senator Ron Paul, or Governor Ron Paul, was saying. Obviously. The spotlight was completely off him when he was running for president, and he didn't get a chance. And basically, they just started nominating all these Mickey Mousers and trying to get Hillary in the front and all that. The Mickey Mousing, right? And this is when I think Obama won his 2nd term.
Yeah, I mean, the Pauls, they're amazing. Rand Paul is amazing, and his dad's amazing. I didn't know it was his son. Lord told me recently that Rand Paul is Ron Paul's son. They're amazing people. They understand the situation better than anyone else. These people aren't going to run because, the U.S. is actually run by the same people who run Israel,
right.
Except on the back, So Trump was run by, was sponsored by, what's his name, before he died. They're all a bunch of Zionists. Like you don't get a place in U.S. politics unless you're committed to them. The Fed is created by them. The whole taxation system is created by the same people. So yeah, that's going to happen. It's not going to be easy for like authentic Americans like Ron Paul and Rand Paul to break out of this. It's not going to be easy. Rand Paul just before Trump came into power, he was just recovering from broken ribs. He was attacked by, I think, Antifa and those guys. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to break out. Like Trump wanted to. Earlier on, Pompeo actually went out and said, well, Israel, they do whatever they like. And then they poisoned Trump. I'm still convinced, I think it's all a clown show, but I really do think that he wasn't really all that into Israel. And I don't, I think Biden is now following through as well. It's a failed project.
I think America needs to pull up its socks and start becoming more and start closing all these bases down and stop spending taxpayers' money and start getting into like properly actually executing a proper governance. And not only that, from there, like a proper governance for the people, by the people, the representation of the people, and start cutting back all these miserable taxes they have there. Start actually allowing people to be free and allow people to live off their land, allow people, we're going to start finding people that collect solar energy. We're going to start doing this, but you want to go green, but you don't want to go green. It's like, It doesn't make any sense. It's time that America rose up from like a phoenix rising from the ashes and reclaim its and stop the wars.
Yeah, they're going to be forced out, I think, at some point. I don't really see them. Like, I'm not saying Biden really excited about all this, and I think he does think it was pretty stupid to bomb the AP building because I mean, it makes it so clear, like
America's
that
got
Israel
infrastructure
is
like no
hiding
other
it.
country. Okay, I've been across America from Vermont down to Florida, from Florida across Texas all the way to LA. I mean, by car, and from like California all the way to Vancouver. And I've been across a lot of states. The infrastructure is horrendous in America. America has a lot good going for it. It really does.
It needs
Infrastructurally.
to upgrade and
Oh,
needs
start
to upgrade, right?
upgrading their infrastructure, start really spending the money at home, and really start focusing on more important things as a country and pleasing their 350 million citizens. And Canada keeps going more and more and more and more into this fascism we're moving into here in Canada is scaring the crap out of me.
Did you hear the Nova Scotia Supreme Court saying that they're allowed to stop anti-mask protests now? So they have a what do they
$3,500
call
fine
it for protests in Nova Scotia,
per person.
per person. Nice.
3,500.
So now they have
Eduardo was telling us that.
You see, it's like they invent the laws, they change the laws, they invent the Supreme. It's don't wait for them to come and follow the rules because they create the rules as it suits them.
They like to
So here you go. I
renegotiate the rules as they
suspect
go
that's going to
along.
get to Manitoba because there were some protests in Manitoba, and I was listening to this Roussin guy, and you know how it goes on the press with them. And I think some companies are issuing notices to their employees that if they participate in anti-mask protests, it can affect their employee profile. They can get fired for it now. So here you go. All of these big companies in Canada are going to follow suit. The banks, the insurance, the transport, and the telecoms.
It's crazy.
The big five, the big three, and the others, a few others. Yeah, I think it's crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy. Although, was it Trudeau? He was saying he's thinking of opening up the borders with the U.S. at this point.
No, he's not thinking he has to. It's not because, I'm thinking I'm going to open the border. No. He has to. Can I tell you why? It's because Washington State's going to open up its border. It's going to open up its state. And guess what? Canada needs to open it. It's not because, I'm thinking of opening. No. You are opening the border because U.S. is.
You don't think they're going to pull off a fourth wave with the Indian variant?
I don't know if they're going to pull out. They're already talking a fifth wave already in China.
Yeah. So, well, I think we'll hold off on this one. But I know Boris Johnson was saying that the Indian variant spreads so quickly that it threatens the lockdown easing right now in the UK.
Trudeau's the type of guy where you can't fire me because I quit. He's like one of those guys. So America moves forward with something. He's like, damn, they're going against what I was going to do. Well, I think we're going to have to do this in Canada. Well, no. It's because America's doing it, not because you think you're going to do it.
There's this constant debate in Ontario about if they should lock down the airport completely, or they should close down Pearson.
Mr. Mobility, Doug Ford.
Listen.
He needs to hunker down. What does that guy know about mobility?
So 1.6 million Ontarians supposedly have had at least one dose. And now they're talking about a 2-dose summer. Mike, you've got to love the terms. I love this vocabulary.
I like how they make this shit up as they go along.
I know.
They just make this shit up. I like when they call it a vaccination, non-prohibition vaccination laws. It's like, who's making this shit up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've got the Supreme Court in Nova Scotia backing them. And now in Ontario, they're talking about locking down airports, like exercising whatever emergency, whatnot for it. They just,
they're not
it's like we were saying earlier.
Airports. Do you know how many I've been getting information from people that have been telling me that the flights from China have been wide open during 2020. And not only that, is the billions of dollars coming in from Hong Kong. Now they're looking at $100 billion in 2020 came into Canada from Hong Kong. $100 billion in 2020, not $41 billion like the article said on the CBC. It's actually $100 billion came in in the year of 2020, and people bringing in cash, like huge amounts of money into Canada. That's why housing here, the on Victoria Island, a condo, a two bedroom, 3-bath. I don't know why it's more bathrooms, but sold for $1 million over asking. So it sold for $2.4 million.
That's money laundering. That's money laundering.
It's huge
And it's
money
all
laundering.
of this is money laundering. It's like that. Who was saying? I think it was Ashima. She was saying, it's you don't know who's buying this stuff. It can be corporations, it can be agents. Yeah, and let me tell you why people are trying to get you to sympathize with the Hong Kongers in the hands of China, so that
But this is a great opportunity
China
to
gets
bring more
well.
money into Canada.
Mhm.
It's a fantastic opportunity. They've been
Yes.
Canada's been tied with the mainline Chinese for since 2010 heavily, and bringing in 500,000 investors per year into Canada, and
Yeah.
that does not go under our Canadian immigration census.
Yeah.
No.
No, it goes through the IMF, Mike. It goes through the IMF. You see, Canada being a corporation traded on the IMF exchange, other countries get to buy shares in this country, right?
Right.
And that's what's happened. So China has shares in Canada, so it owns parts of it.
Yeah. Well, what's going to
And that's what
happen,
countries
Layla?
on the IMF do. What's going to happen is that I think central and northern Canada is going to be depopulated. Guys are going to be concentrated in Vancouver area and the Toronto area.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, the supply chain is being consolidated through the railway.
Mhm.
Both pipelines are going to be shut down so that you're fully dependent on rail and trucks, and you'll be good to go. That's the 2050 plan, right?
I wish.
So
I
we're not
wish.
far.
I
We're
wish
not far
America
from
took. I would
2030.
just.
We're just 9 years away.
This is a huge security risk for Americans watching. Canada has become a huge security risk for you guys. Just letting you know.
They're on the same page. It's not a security issue.
I don't know, man. They say by 2030, Layla, in 9 years, they say that China is going to own more mines and more like mining and like that kind of stuff than Canada does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that. It's already happening. And they're doing this in Africa
Like
and
if it was the
Australia.
Puerto Ricans doing it, I wouldn't bother me too much. The Mexicans, it wouldn't bother me too much, right? But it's a communism and oppression that's doing it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference because, doing that is any way you package it, it's going to take away from the local peoples,
I
whether it's
understand that,
corporatism
but at
or
least you know what I'm
communism
trying to say,
or
right?
capital. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's all the same. It takes away from Canadians, It doesn't matter how you package it. It's the same result.
Yeah. Okay, Layla, it's my third hour. I'm wrapping it up.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on and giving us an update. We'll have you on next week to give us an update. Just keep your eyes and ears open, and just let us know what's going on.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of news that you guys aren't getting. I mean, there's so much footage that's flying around right now. Yeah, maybe I'll send you some links.
Please.
Even if you don't understand, you can see them. If you don't understand what they're saying, you can see them. Yeah, sounds
okay,
good.
Layla. Thank you so much.
Okay,
God bless you.
Thanks. Yeah, God bless. Take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye. That's our correspondent from Egypt giving us an update on what is happening on the ground. Guys, this is
You're talking about all men.
I have no idea how to break this down to you guys, but you know what? Let's talk it through together, and that's why we're here on Mike in the Night, making sure we get our point, or not our point, we're our discussion, points of views from all over the world on what is happening and how it's happening. Guys, one last channel. Guys, if you don't mind, I'm asking, please, I want to see if I could get to 14,000 subscribers by Christmas. So if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Let me see if I could find it here. So yeah, I'm at I'm like 70 subscribers away from 14,000. I usually get 10 subscribers on a monthly basis. So if you guys want to subscribe, go ahead. Guys, don't forget to send me your show tips on Instagram. Yeah, King Cash YouTube is in the house here, guys. He's in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to King Cash YouTube. He's right here. He's just in the comments right now. Please subscribe to his channel. He's got lots going on. Guys, don't forget to pick up something on Teespring. We got the I Love Amerifornia t-shirts that are doing well. Don't forget to set your reminders for next Wednesday show. More BS in the markets with Commonwealth for common people. And next Saturday's Mike in the Night, I'll leave you guys the link here. If you guys don't, there it is right there, guys. This next week's Mike in the Night, confidence of the local governments. So people are losing confidence in their local governments. I look forward to broadcasting this show for you guys to find out who is losing confidence, why are people losing confidence. So I'd like to get people to call in, again, from all over the world to give us an update if they have lost confidence in their governance. Artbydano.com, not your typical art. And guys, don't forget to donate to Lord Humongous' Amerifornia, Mike in the Night Amerifornia 2021-2022 trip. For Lord Humongous, and music by Ralphie.co.New Zealand. And we got a lot of stuff happening here on this channel, broadcasted out of New Zealand via the worlds, to the worlds. And guys, thanks a lot for everything and being part of the channel and commenting. And it means a lot to me that people are part of this and discussion. We're just talking here, We're not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. We're not trying to, we're not going to change water into wine, but we are talking and we are doing what we did. We've been doing for years. So, as human beings. Oh yeah.
You're talking about all men.
I love China. The Mexican government. You're not a nice person. Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good. I own a big chunk of the Bank of America building in 1290 Avenue of the Americas that I got from China in a war.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Guys, take care, and if you can't take care, please stay safe.